Oh, hi there, and welcome to Skull Check. I'm not Kurt, in case you were wondering,
Oh
but Kurt's
shit.
here. Say
Hello,
hi,
it's
Kurt.
me.
For reasons unexplained in the universe, I'm running a one shot today, one with a very heavy asterisk on it because who knows how long this will take. Um, but yeah, let's see. While I have a minor panic attack, let's kind of just reintroduce everybody real quick. Kurt, you want to start?
Hello, yes, I am Kurt. I'm your usual DM. Also, I just noticed that OBS is acting weird.
That's not good.
No, just give me 1 second.
Are we back?
I just stopped it and started it, and we are back again. But yes,
You're
I am
back.
Kurt
And that's our
Haugen.
adventure. Thank you for
Yeah,
joining us.
thank
Go
you.
ahead, Kurt.
Yeah, I'm Kurt Haugen. I'm normally the DM here, but today I'm playing as a player because we didn't know I was going to be here today, or if I was going to be here today. I am playing as Rivali Proudmane. I'm a Leonin fighter. And I don't have a voice yet. It's going to be fun.
That makes apparently half of us.
Sean,
On that
go.
note, let's. Okay, we're going to Sean.
Oh, fine. Hello. I'm Sean. Most of you may know me by now. And actually, some of you may already know the character that I'm bringing into this, Casaadi Nemanis. He's a copper dragonborn warlock. He's a very stable individual. Very stable.
Yeah,
No
me
need
too.
to worry about it.
Very stable genius.
Indeed. Yes.
False.
All right. Francesca?
Yeah. I'm Francesca. I usually play Molitor, but this time around I'm going to play Breena Moklaw. And she is a wizard gnome. It should be very interesting.
So we've got a dragonborn, a leonin, a gnome, and.
Yes, that's me.
See what I did there?
I see. I heard. Hi. I normally play Sora. Today, with a different gender, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play Lorcan, a real stupid rogue. It'll be good. Let's have fun.
Yeah. I promise that we do play intelligent characters on this show.
Not me.
We're like
We
one for.
don't always all dump the same stat, just most of the time.
Sure, we're 1 for 8 in the 8 characters that we've made, but so saying there's a chance. And I'm Jacob Wolfe. I'm your DM. Some of you are just now finding out that this is not my actual voice. So,
Who?
yeah, anyway,
Oh, hi. What have you done with Rhys?
don't you worry about it. Don't ask questions. All right, but if
I
that
get it,
is,
because Rhys is a good thing.
he is a good thing. We don't ask questions about good things. Nice point of order. Just another quick note. Just that I'm streaming from South Carolina. My Wi-Fi is been on a good streak. If it drops, we're just going to RP amongst ourselves until I get back. Speaking of South Carolina, today is a appointed day in the state because South Carolina is one of 3 states in the country that still formally recognizes Confederacy Memorial Day.
Oh my god,
So,
that's a thing.
yeah, it is. It's actually where the original Memorial Day comes from, but we don't have time for that. But in honor of that, we are also going to waste a little bit of time. So,
Do we get to light a fire?
nope, we're just going to go for a little bit and then make a bigger stink of it than we probably should. So, on that
That's
note,
what
all 4 of you starting. It's the early wee hours of the morning. If you have dark vision, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what time it is. Does everybody have dark vision?
Me.
Me.
1, 2. Dragonborn doesn't, do they?
Depends on which version of Dragonborn.
I do not.
You do not.
I
Okay.
do not.
All right, we're 2 for 2. That is a much better ratio than most parties. So the 2 of you that don't have dark vision, you wake up and it's just the beginning of dawn. Like there's a little bit of that morning light coming through. And for a minute, it's kind of hard to tell, where you are because the ground's moving. And you just kind of hear the... And, let's see. Casaadi, you're the first one to get up. Just sort of reaction in
I
almost.
was gonna say, if lizards could have bags under their eyes, this guy. I don't think they do though. So in the
Hey.
perpetual state of insomnia, yes.
They also don't cast fireballs, so if you want your lizard to have bags under their eyes, we'll make it happen.
Right.
To my knowledge. Yeah, so almost you were moving before you even fully awake, almost as if like something else was just guiding your actions before you were fully conscious.
Not
Why
again.
don't you describe yourself?
Well, even though he is a copper dragonborn, the metallic sheen is definitely gone from any scales that he might have. Everything's a little dull. Anything he wears is more rags than anything. He seems he wears some very chewed leather gloves upon his claws, and well, like I said, bags under his eyes, wild eyes at times, where they're just looking about as he drifts off occasionally, listening to something. Listening to the various things and to the words that are being talked about. You know, happy things, happy thoughts. So yeah, if he's waking up in the morning, he's just looking around. What do I have planned for me today? Who knows?
Do you actually monologue out loud? Because I would really love
definitely.
that. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, definitely.
On
The
that
only time, the only time he knows he's actually speaking is when he's physically speaking.
So on that note, you monologuing out loud wakes up your cabin mate, Breena. What were you in the middle of a dream of?
I was dreaming about finally proving to that idiot who keeps on thinking that I'm wrong about the spell and the incantation. I don't even remember which one because he's wrong on all of them. But I was right, and he's humiliated. Then I get woken up.
And as you wake up, the last there's like about a 2-second long echo in your head of Rancy Fancy Finger, of just mocking you because like he got all the credit, and it just kind of fades out to start your day. You wake up to a copper dragonborn monologuing.
What dream was chosen for you last night?
Oh, good lord. Alright, listen.
I fucking love this character already.
Sweet is not really my style, and I'm not really interested in talking right now. Thank you. Just be waking up, if you don't mind.
That's how you've been decided to act.
Yes.
Excellent.
Swear.
I also like to think, Casaadi, that you don't actually make direct eye contact. Like you're always scanning around.
Above or scanning, yep.
So, our camera pans out a little bit as they slowly start to get dressed and, get their things together. Goes across the way. There's another double cabin, but only one person inside of it. They've been awake for about an hour, but Lorcan, what gets you? What are you meditating on before you start your day?
Not much. I really could just use a bite to eat at this point.
I do like to think you've been spending the entire hour thinking of breakfast, which is something I can relate strongly to.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I hope they have eggs. I think I want eggs. Yeah.
How do you want your eggs?
Sunny side up.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you decided on your breakfast. Your cabin mate never came in, so you just kind of got the whole room to yourself.
I pushed the two beds together immediately.
How big is Lorcan? I'm not very familiar with Vidalcan.
Fuck, I don't know.
Vidalcan are a lower medium race, so they're fairly small.
Literally anything you say.
It
Like I can't
says
speak.
tall and slender.
Are
Me
they?
too.
I thought they
It
were.
says a head taller than humans on average.
I am mixing up races
Oh.
then.
Kurt's lying to you.
Apparently, I'm probably
Not
thinking
again.
of the fucking thing from Acquisitions Incorporated.
I'm 6'6", I've decided.
Okay. All right. 6'6". So you needed to push those beds together. That was definitely a.
And then I slept diagonal.
How small are these beds?
Probably college.
Actually, that is a
Oh.
question that will be answered momentarily. If you hear a dog barking, I'm sorry. I've got 3 of them here. They're all wonderful. If any of you complain, I'll hate you.
It's absolutely unforgivable that they're not on camera right now.
That I agree with. Hope y'all can forgive me for next time. So we pan back out. We go into the other cabin. It's completely empty. It looks like there was nobody ever in here all night. Camera confusedly comes back, looks back and forth, goes up the stairs, and gets to the top of the ship that you're on, which is a somewhat rickety, almost at first glance looks like a fishing boat. But then if you really look at it and observe, you can tell that it's definitely seen its share of exploration. It could lovingly be described as retired. It's got lots of scars of travel. It's got, the paint doesn't really match everywhere from where it's been put together. And nowadays it's sort of just used more for as like a glorified ferry. It's a bit of a tourist trap too with sort of the stories that are on it. The morning crew's running things. I have no idea how ships work, but the morning crew's running things. And there's only about a small handful compared to what would normally be needed. And then, it'll be fun. Somewhat propped up against the back corner, a little too tall for the walls. So just sort of like leaning back a little bit. Almost looks like they're stretching their back, but upon further inspection, walking up to this Leonin, you can tell they are dead asleep in a horribly uncomfortable position, but they seem very happily content. Rivali, what were you dreaming of? What snaps you awake?
I'm gonna make this sound as inappropriate as possible.
Excellent.
I was dreaming of shirtless, muscled men.
As one does on a
As
ship.
one does, because,
Respect.
we were fighting. And I won the prize.
What was the prize?
It was a
Yeah.
nice, shiny belt buckle.
I need you to roll a just roll an investigation check.
What is my investigation? 15.
15. All right. You look and you find your belt buckle, which looks just like the shiny one. Not quite as shiny anymore, but you could probably make it look shiny and tell people that you won it in a fight with some shirtless men. Nobody here knows you.
Alright.
So I would say you sort of, when you jolt awake, that kind of stretches and cracks your back for you, because the crew members actually somewhat avoided you because they're not quite sure how you slept that way. But as you kind of fix yourself up, kind of describe Rivali's appearance.
So as I'm like standing and stretching back up, I stretch like so, hearing a lot of actual cracks from my arms.
Smooth.
And then just kind of like push back the dark mane that I have. Fairly like normal lion fur of that like off-white-ish. But the only exception is like a very dark mane and a suit style chainmail shirt.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, so you getting up, stretching a little bit. I mean, that's several feet taller than a normal human. Most of the crew, or at least the morning crew, are human or humanoid. Like there's a half elf there. You can tell there is one half orc, relatively smaller than most half orcs that you've run into, and a little paler as well. It just seems like there's not as much physical labor needed in the morning, strength wise. So they kind of get up, get everything clean, make sure everything's prepped for the day. You've got a guy up in the crow's nest making sure, we're not running into anything. A little bit of fog coming out. And Rivali, we'll stay with you. How do you want to start the day?
Start the day with some actual healthy stretching, like a good boy. And then it's gonna be a like 10-minute like shadow boxing.
Okay. Roll me a straight dex check.
Straight dex.
Gay decks only.
All right. 13.
13. Solid. You feel good. You worked up a little bit of a sweat, but you had to try to. It's been. I mean, how long has it been since somebody's actually made you work up a sweat?
Too long. It's been far too long.
What's your passive perception? It's pretty good, actually, isn't it?
It's surprisingly good. It is 12.
12. Oh no, okay, it's not passive.
It's given my stats, it's surprisingly good.
It's
Same hat.
So yeah, they try to like hide it a little bit, but the other crew members are curious because they work morning shift, so they just slept, woke up, and then there's just this presumably either drunken or just insanely comfortable Leonin draped over the end of the boat, and they're kind of like, I'm not going to touch him, you touch him. And so they just kind of, and then you just snap awake and start shadow boxing, essentially. Yeah, they're definitely like not blatantly staring, but kind of like mopping the.
So I see them staring.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking off the chainmail shirt, and then I'm gonna give them a show.
Okay, all right. Roll performance with advantage because they are unsure.
Either way, it's not gonna be good.
What we got?
7.
7. You get stuck a little on the tear, and you keep remembering, like, oh man, I really should get like the tearaway chainmail invented or something. That's definitely a thing that can happen. So it's a little awkward, if it kind of kills the spontaneity of it, and you kind of, and clunk falls, and then you start dancing.
Oh, that's not the show I was talking about.
Oh, you just okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Everyone on the deck is pretty uncomfortable. Not like run away, but there's definitely like a vibe change.
Jacob, it's the gun show.
Yeah, it's the gun. Yeah, everybody's uncomfortable with a 7. It's like,
He lives in South Carolina. He's seen a gun show before.
That's an offensive stereotype. It's not incorrect, but it's not. So I think it's a good place to leave there. It's like everybody's mildly uncomfortable.
Perfect.
And we'll come back down, and Breena, I'm going to say that of the 3, you're probably the one that's ready first. Like, you're organized, efficient, you know what you need. It was all prepped at like dinner time yesterday. So how do you start your day?
Right. Well, now that I am ready, I have a big, like, blonde braid at one side and a royal blue kind of wizard's cloak with golden decoration on the sleeves and all the things. And yeah, I'm just going to go try and get some fresh air because it's smelling a bit acrid in this room. Going up on the deck. And what the hell is that?
A quick point of order, Casaadi, what does that room smell like? Because it's definitely you.
Yeah, unwashed lizard? It's not...
I don't know what I expected.
It's probably, again, it's... Unfortunately, I'm guessing any saliva is acidic.
Oh, no.
It's not... Yeah. It's nothing he cares for.
Okay.
It's nothing he maintains, unfortunately. He looks and smells like a homeless person, but with scales.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
I'm out of there.
How you got paired up in that room? Oh, I'm sorry.
Blame the D4. It's a so yeah, you come up. All right, so Breena, you come to the top stairs. You got your book, your bag, and you're kind of nice and presented. You walk up. You realize there's not really anybody there. Nobody doing anything. And then you just sort of turn around and you see just this like Johnny Bravo show going on with this giant Leonin, and everybody's like not enjoying it, but too scared to move.
Perfect.
This was a mistake. Hopefully we get out of here soon. Alright, I walk up to the closest person to me.
Okay.
That's not the lion.
No, yeah, oh yeah, you're on the opposite side. I mean, it's a big ship, but it's not like a cruiser or anything. Like it's a short walk from front to back. And so the closest person to you would probably be, kind of your standard looking sailor, good guy pirate, so to speak. He's got like the blue bandana tied behind. He's got a really bad he's got a really badly managed goatee with nothing right here. There's a little right here, but nothing right there, and it kind of goes off to the left. Really like unkept eyebrows and everything like that, but very nice eyes. He's definitely uncomfortable and like doesn't see you because you're much shorter than him.
Right. Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I would like to know when we're supposed to arrive, and please tell me it's soon.
The captain said the other day it would be about 3 days, and that we've been here for either today or tomorrow. I've slept at least once.
Wow. Thank you. I'm just gonna walk
He's very
away,
proud of
kinda
himself.
like, so done.
I helped. He gets back to just mopping a little bit.
I'm surrounded by idiots. Oh, I'm just gonna meditate.
No, that's the sound that holds. Just as we zoom out, like Ace Ventura style, and then we come back. So Lorcan, you've pretty much, I think, gotten ready for what you need. Sort of describe your appearance. Like, how have you dressed yourself?
I once these clothes were pretty cool. And then I wore them a whole lot, and maybe they're past their time, but I do not acknowledge this. They are purple.
They are purple, okay.
Different shades, not because they weren't initially the same shade, they were, but the shirt has been worn a lot less than the pants, and so it is less faded.
Okay. When you say you don't acknowledge it, is it you don't care or you don't know?
Somewhere in between.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll say you and Casaadi kind of walk out of your rooms at the same time.
Hello, other hero.
Morning. Are you in charge of breakfast?
No, I don't have that duty. The unimportant do. We will get our food eventually. Where is our destination again? What feat are we accomplishing?
I think you're the only one I didn't tell. Your destination is called... Your destination is the island of Rhys, which is Rhys.
That's where I'm being led. Yes, I
Actually, don't know if you told me either.
No, I'm good at this, guys. I've been doing this a long time.
Or HYS, you said?
Rhys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, being prompted there, I have proficiency with cartography. Nope, I read it wrong. It says calligraphers. I thought it said cartographers. I was excited to read a map. But since I thought I did, I will pull out a map that I drew.
Okay. We can just
over
say you...
the past day or two, sleep or two, that we've been on this boat. That is mostly just two shapes and an arrow between them, and point somewhere slightly farther than half on the arrow and say, I think we're here. We just gotta get there.
So taking the real world and applying it to mechanics here, I'm going to say that because you're a very good writer, you thought, how hard could it be to write a map?
Yeah.
And so you just wrote the distances and kind of drew some shapes, and you knew the math, like you're not a moron, but it's like...
I'm not?
What?
No, that's me.
No, you're not a moron. You're the second highest intelligence in this party. It's
Dear
a,
God, I have a 10. I probably like copied the numbers from a different map. I may have flipped one or two, but who's to say?
You used a bunch of maps to try to make your map without ever looking at like the scale thing, where like
Yes.
1 centimeter is X miles thing.
This sounds correct.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have you roll. I've been playing D&D for so long, and I've literally forgot every stat that ever existed. I guess either a intelligence or we're just gonna roll an intelligence check. We'll go with that.
Roll intelligence. I rolled a 17.
Okay. You're a little off. Like it's you're not wrong per se, but you're actually a little ahead of what you thought. And I would say that like after looking at it with a 17, after looking at it for a bit, you go, wait a minute, and you're kind of counting the meals that you've had since you've been on here. A recurring theme of people counting time different ways. And then you realize, no, okay, you're about right here. You should get here maybe by the end of the day? Question mark.
So I'll take on the map. I'll point it. I'll say that's where we are, and then I'll like blink after 3 seconds and kind of like slide my finger a little bit and be like, yeah.
Roll just straight perception.
Do I have a bonus?
Okay.
Okay. 7.
You have no idea if Casaadi even acknowledged what you were pointing at.
Good shit.
I'm not sure Casaadi knows either.
Well,
But
he didn't. He doesn't know where breakfast is, so he's not that important.
okay. So
We're the most important. We're the reason everything is here.
That sounds like a lot of responsibility.
We always have it. Whenever we exist.
You can hold on to that.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna find some eggs.
Go sustain yourself.
again, just it's the vacant look that gets me because I just picture I'm gonna get some eggs, and you walk off, and you're still staring at the same spot on the wall. Go sustain yourself. You're like a second behind in conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I love this already. I'll just spend 4 hours of making you guys talk to each other.
Wouldn't
And
be
then,
surprised.
It wouldn't be
Casaadi-
the first time.
It would not be the first time. D&D guys. Casaadi, now that the unimportant one is no longer, making sounds at you with their mouth hole.
No, they're important.
Just
They're
not as.
heroes. Those who make the breakfast are unimportant. Those without names. Those who wander about, only being around when needed.
Are you a dick to customer service workers?
He probably is, but not in like the I demand to speak to your manager. He just doesn't acknowledge them
Think that
half
they're
the time.
people.
They have to. No, in his eyes, they're not. Unfortunately,
The vibe I
Oh,
get
no.
is Matthew McConaughey from True Detective Season 1 of just like, you just need to get some sleep. I don't sleep, I just dream. Just that's
Opposite
kind of the
of
vibe.
Sora's problem.
Yep.
But we'll say you sit there in an awkward silence for about 3 seconds, and then what would you do from there?
Meander off in the direction, probably bumping into, not moving for people, so people don't move out of the way. There's definitely a bump or a shove, and just if any they grumble, it's just unimportant. If anything, he will be doing more or less nothing until colliding with another player character.
Okay, that's fair. Very efficient at Comic-Con. It's
Mhm.
it's basically just a big almost like a reformed brig area, and there's just like a set of stairs that comes down here, and that's it. And then the rest of it is just rooms. So
All right, up we go.
up we go. All right, so Lorcan, you get to the top and you turn. You basically reach the top of the stairs right as Breena is disgustedly walking away and sitting down. There's still a gun show going on with Rivali. It's lasted a little longer than comedic effect should allow. It's just, but
Good.
they're having a great time.
Clearly. So who's in charge of breakfast?
Um,
I'll just shout that to the crew.
the crew kind of stops and turns and starts looking at each other. And and is anybody say that? That would be Edward. Somebody in the back kind of goes, ugh, I'll get him, hang on. And just goes, and they walk off down a separate set of stairs for a moment.
Can I tell if they're going towards the kitchen or other sleeping quarters?
They're going towards the kitchen. You're pretty
Okay.
comfortable with where the kitchen is, I would say.
I just wanted to make sure they weren't waking him up late because I would have gone with them if that were the case.
I considered it because that would have been funny, but and then
Okay.
let's do this. Yeah, the guy kind of walks, and Breena, you're kind of sitting in a spot that feels calming, or at least calming to you. And he kind of like awkwardly steps around you. He almost walked into you and tripped, but he's like, you're still making like a really disgruntled.
Peace and quiet.
He thinks about checking on you. He's like, nah. I rolled a natural one. He keeps going.
Oh no.
Rivali, roll a I would say roll insight.
15.
15. You feel like you're kind of losing your momentum some here with the gun show. Like you're doing a great job. Like you're killing it. But you might need do you have anything else?
Are there any like heavy objects that need to be moved?
Absolutely. There are large boxes everywhere. Like this is it's a ferry, but it's also like a cargo ship. Like it's almost like a train. Like it's got people on it, bring it back and forth. But there's also like luggage and like the big car in the back that's just got everybody's stuff.
There's also this gnome sitting in the way of that guy who's trying to walk past her.
I'm gonna see if I notice the gnome. I noticed the gnome.
You can notice them.
I noticed the
You can
gnome.
notice.
I rolled a 17.
Oof. Okay, yeah, you can notice the gnome there, and they seem. We keep using that other insight check of, they definitely seem aggravated. They're stressed. They have just started their day on the wrong foot. They're tense. They don't sound very meditative at all.
Okay, can I quickly see if there's like a better spot that's like higher up for them?
Oh, sure, yeah, roll perception. That's a 2. Okay.
Oh wait, sorry.
You're
Hold on.
after modifier?
Be a 4.
4.
4. Okay. All right. So you don't throw them in the ocean. Just kidding. You're pretty sure that you could toss them up and have them land in the crow's nest.
I meant
But
on
you're
top of like a whatever they call like
A box?
Barrel?
not like a
Yeah.
cloth thing. Like
Oh, I was
open
gonna say,
doorway.
but you're not sure you could do it on the first try, so you're not going to try. So you could hold them up. There's like they're a gnome, so there's like boxes that are taller than they are, but nothing that would be like a podium, like a standing everybody look here kind of deal, or helpful.
I'm gonna make a podium out of the heavy boxes and then put the gnome on good top.
Gnome on the top. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna have you roll a survival check to build.
Fuck is my survival. Okay.
That's right. Y'all don't use survival at home. Do it.
22.
Let's go. You build the best. No, you get like a full like after hours TV softcore montage of like building this thing together. Like you take your time to like flex your pecs and everything as you do it. You're positioning yourself to anybody that walks by, everything, and you do a really nice podium to the point where people actually go, "Hey, that hasn't been here before. It's a nice podium. When did that get there?" Like it's noticeable. You have created an addition to this ship that will be a bitch for inventory when it gets where it's going. But we'll worry about that later.
Oh no, I'm that asshole.
This is called justice for you, Kurt.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
You're doing it to somebody else. But you've made a really good podium. You think it would be perfect to get the gnomes some nice fresh air, and maybe away from the white noise a little some.
Perfect. I'm gonna do it in the most awkward way possible. If I'm picking them up by like where like the scruff would be for the cat.
I do have a hood.
Okay, yeah. So we're doing that, picking it up like that, and then boop.
Do I
Bring it
do
up.
anything for that? Do I roll
Can you
for
do
that?
anything with that? Oh, you gotta.
I mean, I was not paying attention, so I guess I'm just like.
You're just offended.
Unhand me! What is wrong with you?
Are you actually trying to get free, or
Yeah, well, yes.
make a pose grapple checks?
I can't unhand you. I can unpaw you.
Breena, you have disadvantage because you were surprised.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. I like that.
Same roll anyway. So
It's
that's fine.
it's just athletics, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 14.
5. Yeah. So you just very
Flailing.
very demeaningly, just kind of like flail. Like holding the kid's head back while he tries to punch you, kind of a deal.
Unhand me, you overgrown cat!
I told you I don't have hands. I have paws. On top.
One guy in the back goes, "Oh, I get it."
I'm
so-
seated.
You're placed on top of this podium, very begrudgingly. It's actually a lot calmer. Like it's quieter. It's what you wanted. That it's a little cooler. It's not as hot. You get the little breeze going.
His
The
face
sound of
though.
All right. This is acceptable.
And we'll say, Breena, you have inspiration for actually getting to meditate some.
I'm also gonna then put my chainmail back on. Is it chainmail? Yeah, it's chainmail.
Actually, with just your. Okay. I was rolling to see if anybody would like shyly help you, but they all rolled really well on charisma, so nobody was swooned.
They resisted.
They resisted.
Damn it.
Meanwhile, camera pans back. Casaadi, you've reached the top of the stairs. I don't know what you see because I don't know what you look at. So
One
The
eye's
general
over here, one
scanning.
eye's over here.
Oh, no, the eyes are still. He doesn't have a lazy eye yet.
yeah,
That's
early.
once a little more that those inspiration kind of drips into him. But for now, yeah, no, it's looking at basically the scanning about finding the people who look unique, or at least those few who are up here. So it's definitely the large one, the small one. There was another earlier. There are 4 of
If
us.
it helps, I'm blue.
They're right next to you.
Good. Good. We have everyone here. That means something good is going to happen.
Can I hear this?
Oh yeah, it's out loud.
It's out loud. It's.
It's more of
Muttering
like
mumblings, but still.
it's more of like a.
Mhm.
I would say you notice with your because you've got a pretty good insight.
Mhm.
That's the one I was thinking of.
I have a 15
Mine's
passive insight.
9.
So you definitely notice, the big dragonborn, kind of staring at you, through you, around you.
Past you.
But past past everything you've ever believed. But between the distance and Breena's meditation, you can't quite hear what they're saying.
Okay.
Do I know who he's talking about?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. He's at least talking about Rivali.
Okay, that's
And
fair.
if you're right next to him, he says the small one. I would say you could assume Breena.
It's
one
not
you just,
me.
It's the one you just watched me manhandle.
There could be
Cat
also a
handle.
note
Gnome
pointing.
handle.
A limp pointing of hand as well.
Okay, okay.
What? That one. Not actually forming it into a full finger. Just kind of...
Fantastic.
I just want Casaadi to have a podcast.
God, who would listen to people with his
Yo.
ramblings? Yeah.
Yeah, so Lorcan, I'll give you a chance to kind of do what you want to do here, if anything. The guy has not come back with the chef.
What kind of something?
Well, it depends. Whenever we gather, whenever those of heroic stature gather, there's a problem to solve, something to conquer, prestige to earn. All depends on what they think of.
What are you thinking of?
It's hard to say. I think of what I'm thought to think.
I think I like you.
I have to like you.
Why?
We have to work together.
You don't have to like your coworkers.
Odds improve otherwise. The dice
Better
will be
than
more in our
evens.
favor.
Casaadi, you get a very disagreeing vibe of having to like your coworkers.
Never mind. I've been corrected. Well, I think I have.
You get an angry affirmation.
True enough. Yes.
Is the laughing character?
Yes. Although I wouldn't, a smile would not be accurate. It'd be more of a.
Oh no.
I would not be chewing his claws while doing so.
He's the type I'd kick out.
What now?
I'm just talking to myself.
I would actually say that you can hear Rivali, although Rivali cannot hear you very well. I mean, just correct me if I'm wrong, Craig. I don't want to play for you, but
Rivali is loud.
very boisterous. Yeah, very.
He is.
Oh,
They
I
are far
forgot.
louder than I am.
Well, to be fair, I forgot I have an awakened mind, so I can mention to I can talk to people even if they don't want me to.
Oh shit, me too.
All right.
That's why I was
no!
like, yeah, that's fine. I thought that's where you were going when you said, "What are you thinking?" I was like, "You both have awakened mind."
No, he just said he's thinking.
Thinking what he was thought to think.
Yeah, that.
Fair.
And you didn't think to think what he was thinking that he'd been thought to think.
I don't think
To
that
be
hurt.
fair,
I think
my
so.
thoughts are usually spoken. Anything otherwise is not spoken by me.
Who speaks in your head then?
An echo.
Is it CM?
Then. Can I do the thing? If he said an echo, then I would repeat that in his head.
You're adding to the choir. In his head to your head.
Casaadi, you almost feel an eye roll at Lorcan saying an echo.
You just don't understand yet. But we all can someday. Actually, no. Only I can. Why was I even saying that? Still. Yeah. So, small one, in your head. Greetings again. When is everything going to happen? When does the meal and then the battle occur?
Do you say it out loud and in their head?
Yes.
Okay.
Quiet mutterings out loud, which turn into in the head echoes.
I absolutely still think you're talking to me.
Is this like
How tall are you?
Is this like message? Can I talk with Casaadi?
I don't
I
think
think-
so.
No?
You can telepathically speak to any creature you can see within 30 feet of you if it understands at least one language.
No.
So I can't answer.
No.
Okay.
And also, I'd say
Not in the head. Okay.
6 foot, but he's probably someone who walks with a hunch, so he's probably 5'8" with his posture.
I'm
I've
not
been called
small.
Now,
Alright,
switching
so-
to you. You're not the small one, you're the blue one.
I know that. I can see.
I'm trying to meditate!
Meditation
You're
is
doing a
only used-
fantastic job.
Did the podium not help?
Yes, podium is fine. That's acceptable. Tell the lizard man to not talk in my head. And if you want
Meditation is
breakfast,
usually...
go find the... You have said unimportant for the people around me, right?
Yeah, but I'm not referring
I'm
to
just
you.
gonna- Then go find the unimportant people!
Why?
Well,
You don't have to yell
not
at
the
me
one.
like that.
I think everybody needs some breakfast. Everybody is very grumpy or confused, I think. Me too. And if they have
wonder
still
who's
not come back, I will go after them.
Breena, roll an insight check for me.
On who?
Right, hold on. 15.
15? Not, I mean, including Rivali, like, you kind of hurt some feelings of the people working around you.
Because unimportant?
Yeah.
There
But, you know, the morning shift is unappreciated. So, shout out to my homies from the past. But it's
Shout out to the morning crew.
Too real.
morning crew. Yeah. So you're not sure who's like upset and who's like angry, but those words definitely landed. Lorcan, as you start to walk over towards where they went to go get the chef, you see a man in a very cliche chef hat with like the apron. He is he's half orc, but the other half is not human. It's not very distinct what that is at first glance. He's very large. He's about 6'7", 6'8", big muscly guy. Silver would immediately just seeing him go, but he's got a really big friendly smile and like big thick mutton chops, black mutton chops right here. It looks like his hairline, you can kind of see the fade of where he used to have like really long beautiful hair, but he's shaved it now. And he's got a bright white apron on that's got sort of like faded yellow stains and streaks of red on it, and then like another streak of red that's a very different shade. And it says, it looks like it used to say something else, but now it just says "kiss the ook," and he's got these like big purple oven mitts, and he comes up. He's like, "Everybody, breakfast is ready," and I need everyone to roll a dex save.
Does Ook have 1 or 2 O's?
3.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Okay.
A dex save?
Dex save.
19.
19. We got a 4 from Kurt.
Woo!
Please say your rolls out loud.
4!
And I got a 16.
16. So,
Fuck for my bonus.
what did you get again, Casaadi? I'm sorry.
A 19.
19. So as he's like, "Hey, everybody, breakfast is ready." Boom! This huge wave hits the side of the boat. Rivali, you are knocked prone, but it looks real smooth. Like you're falling, you're like, "Oh, yeah, we're fine." Land. But you are prone.
Can I
Casaadi-
land in the paint me like one of your French lions pose?
Sure.
Yes.
I've got no reason not to. In fact, you fall and then slide like with the tilting ship.
Good.
Casaadi and Lorcan, you managed to just like grab the side of the boat before you like get knocked off of your feet. Breena, you act as if nothing has ever happened. You are still sitting cross-legged, on your fancy podium, and you tilt at an angle that you should have slid off, but you just inexplicably don't. It's just
Wizard shit.
pretty much.
Is this the power of meditation?
Before we resolve this, does Breakfast Man fall down?
I rolled that and then forgot what I rolled, so let's find out. Yes.
I will use my deck save to save the breakfast.
Okay, and you rolled pretty well.
16.
16. Roll a d8.
Two.
This is high fantasy drama. You save
Yep.
the bacon and the just sort of instinctively the closest thing to you appear to be some sort of side fruit salad that was maybe mixed in. You couldn't quite tell. But the eggs are far out of your reach.
Fuck.
And the rest of what appears to be some sort of very colorful gumbo splashes onto the deck. Using your deck save to catch all of that, you slip in it and you are also prone with bacon and salad.
Hearing the gumbo fall hurts my soul.
So does that count as a fail?
Mechanically speaking, because you've elected to fail the save for keeping your balance and have, because I'm the DM and I have a god complex, you chose to use it to catch something instead.
So, can I use my psionic power to try and save the eggs by upping my roll?
And you had, because you had
If
a 2.
you fail with an ability check using a skill or tool with which you have proficiency, you can roll 1 psionic energy die and add the number rolled to the check.
So what your psionic energy die, is that a d6?
8.
It's a d8. Technically, no, because it's not a save. I just had you roll a d8 to see how much things you catch, but it's funny, so let's do it.
For the deck save, if I up that number, I figured I could catch more things, but I wasn't sure.
I'll say no, because I don't want you to waste a die on it.
It only gets expended if I then succeed in my task.
You probably would, because you were real close. So
I want to save the eggs. They're important to me this morning.
go for it. I won't stop you anymore.
Emotionally, they're important.
Let's add a 7.
Let's add a 7. You catch the things, you slip, and you land in the gumbo, and just sort of like look up at the sky in agony and wonder what you did to deserve your day starting like this. And instinctively, in that agony, you psionically catch everything else before it hits the ground, except for like
Gumbo.
one like cut link of sausage, which you just catch, but it still slows, dips into the gumbo, and then comes back up. So you can still get a taste of it.
That's fair. I accept
But you
this.
are prone. So
Oh well.
Then in your head, you might hear, "Why did you expend that already? This wasn't
Breakfast is
something
important.
big."
It's the most important meal of the day.
Casaadi, you get
Is
a internal, like, not disgust, but just sort of like resigned annoyance at people who pay much more attention to what their persona would do than to what is actually mathematically efficient.
Are we sure that this isn't just CM again?
I've said nothing.
I'm so offended. Out of character. What?
Is anybody covered in breakfast
That's me.
beyond?
Nope, but the ship, where it has spilled, is now difficult terrain.
I'm
Slippery.
just gonna start doing prestidigitation.
Okay, I like that. I'll say that takes about a round of time because we're not going into combat, or are we?
Takes 6 seconds.
I get up while she does that.
You slip and fall. You're off the edge. So it's
Another deck save for the breakfast.
a Breck save. Everybody turns and looks around and tries to figure out what's going on, and the waves are perfectly calm, like just the normal sloshing.
I'm gonna put the breakfast on a table before that happens again.
Okay, you set it down on the table. So as that everything kind of settles, more people start coming up from the different little brig areas, and you can see that not this many people are supposed to be up here at once. It's getting a little crowded, not jammed into a room, but just sort of a little bit of chaos. People are coming up whose job it is to protect if they get attacked. People who are the morning shift's trying to get out of the way. Nobody knows where Edward went. There's gumbo everywhere.
We don't know where Edward went?
Well,
No.
hey, gumbo everywhere out there.
Fuck.
We spent a lot more time on the gumbo than Edward, and that's what he would have wanted.
Good.
I've been
His
cleaning
dying
up.
wish.
I'm gonna get 2 plates and go find him.
Okay, roll perception with disadvantage.
Okay.
He does have a name.
That's a dirty 20 and a 13. I will take it, honestly.
13. Yeah, you don't see Edward's pretty easy to spot. He's quite a character. You don't see him anywhere. There's just like a little bit of chaos. There's a couple of more grizzled veteran types who are just trying to man the chaos, get people to calm down, because again, you're just on a normal boat now, like you were. You see an older half elf with kind of got like gray in his beard and long white gray ponytail. He seems to be taking charge of things and moving people around. There's 2 human women who are just sort of ferrying people back down into the brigs, trying to get things back. And then there's several races kind of looking over the edge, and some have like a spell prepared, some have a bow drawn, and they're just kind of looking in the water and looking in the sky.
From my podium, can I see anything or?
Roll perception with advantage, because that was a
Be
real
well
nicely built
constructed
podium. A 22 constructed podium.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The one time you use survival.
I was about to say, is that how you thought you would contribute today?
No,
It's a
but
16.
A 16? You kind of, you're real book learned, as they say around here, and you kind of look at where the force hit from, and you can tell there's just like a different type of ripple down there, and 16's pretty good. You see that comes from something going down, not from hitting and landing.
Going.
from something going
Wait,
under the water.
sorry.
Mm-hmm. Like something was there and then dove straight down.
Oh. And the chef is gone?
Chef is gone.
How big was the chef?
He was 6'7" or 8.
He chunky boy.
He was there. What else, John?
Really bad.
I would. Breena, you are well read. Just roll nature, which is not intelligence based, but whatever.
It is.
It's okay.
It is.
Is it?
I thought it was wisdom.
No,
Nice.
survival is wisdom,
Oh.
nature is intelligence.
Yeah.
18.
18. So yeah, just sort of looking at it, you don't have and at least I don't think you have a ton of experience like on the water, but you definitely did your research before coming out here, because who wouldn't? Why would you be stupid and caught unprepared like that? There are creatures that live out in these sort of waters. You're not really in an ocean as much as it is just sort of like a big river, almost a little bigger than a river. Sea might be the right word.
I know it in French, not in English.
What is in French? Out of sheer curiosity.
A fleuve.
I love that so much more.
Yeah.
It's a fleuve. And so there are creatures out here that are sentient and can attack, but nothing like a kraken that's gonna grab somebody and pull them. So
That we know of.
you're not sure what it could be, but it's definitely a possibility that something grabbed Edward and pulled him, or otherwise just caused him to sink. Rivali,
Hello.
what would you like to do? You're laying down in gumbo, but you look great.
I'm gonna lap up the gumbo.
Okay.
It's what Edward would want.
It is what Edward would want.
Can I slowly lower that one gumbo dipped sausage into his mouth?
I will
Sure.
very heartily eat it.
Fucking
Thank
right.
you.
Now
You're
I
my
will
new best
get my
friend.
place and find Edward. I do not acknowledge that.
Gonna take 1d4 emotional damage.
Look, the chef is missing. This will be important soon if it isn't already.
Okay.
Casaadi, roll just a perception check for me.
Mm-hmm. That's not a number. 13.
13. With a 13, you know how these sorts of things work, or you've been told how these sorts of things work. There's definitely something that will happen within 6 seconds or so, but you're not quite sure what it is.
Which is
And-
why he'll take the time to put on his what should be mage armor, but instead of it kind of flashing on, it's more like him putting an arm into a jacket and reaching around and seeing that long, almost white glow of a coat, a long coat, as he gets ready, because it's coming, isn't it? Whatever's next.
Can I roll insight to see if like I pick up the vibe of a fight?
You can roll insight to try to figure out the vibe of that badass Doctor Strange shit. Like
21.
21. There's some badass Doctor Strange shit about to go down.
I'm gonna
Like you're not sure what that was, but you're ready to punch.
I'm
I
gonna
think
get up
something's
and be
gonna
like,
happen.
You get up like there's definitely gumbo like in your fur.
I'm okay with that.
God,
Yeah, that wasn't a bad thing. It's just a note.
I'm gonna smell
called a snack
delicious.
saver.
For a
Um,
day, maybe.
That's probably not a good thing.
The seagulls will be all over you.
Rats with wings.
I'll punch him.
Sorry, I had to visualize that. Lorcan, is there anything
Man.
else that you're doing? No, wait, you just fed. You just fed Rivali.
Yeah, I did that, and then I said I was grabbing 2 plates before the crowd swarms the breakfast, and I'm finding the cook.
Okay.
Everybody
Okay.
can believe that one of the plates is for him, if they want.
Keeping up appearances.
Yeah.
I'll have everybody roll another deck save.
Dirty 20.
You would think with my +8 that I would do okay, but I rolled a 2.
So
I'm
10.
gonna...
Rivali, I
gonna-
do.
oh, thank God. Fuck. I'm using inspiration.
Uh-huh.
That's way better. Hold on. Dex. Dirty 20.
2020. Rivali, I'm gonna have you roll with disadvantage because you're standing in gumbo.
That's okay. 7.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
At least you got up before you had to do this again. So, excited.
Now it just looks like you're practicing falling.
14.
14. I'm just practicing falling. So,
Stop.
yeah. Once again, Casaadi, you have you're sort of just like, well, this happened last time, so it's gonna happen again. And so you just kind of put your hand out and hold on. So when it happens, you just kind of go. I would say just because it's. Yeah, Breena, almost the same thing. Everything tilts over, and you don't slide anywhere at all. You sort of, you're not even really paying attention to it as far as just looking to the other side now. Rivali, you get up and you're just like, delicious, and in that moment you're kind of off balance, and that's sort of what puts you back down. And now you've just got gumbo on the other side. This is actually a win-win for you. Everything's coming up for the quality.
I am delicious.
Look, you are hyper focusing on this food and making sure it's okay and everything, and you once again you are also now falling down covered in gumbo, but the plates stay up psionically.
Okay. That's what's really important here.
You accomplished your goal.
Yeah,
Um,
I got breakfast.
Breakfast. And let me roll and make sure everybody else. And then, okay, people. A lot of the smaller morning shift and just people who probably shouldn't be up there but are curious. They're starting to lose their balance. Some, but all the guards sort of stay, calm and everything.
Did the wave come from the same place?
Opposite side. And then
Okay, so I wouldn't have even nearly been looking in the right area.
right.
I was looking for Edward anyway.
Yeah, about you're looking for Everett anyway. It is on your side because just in my mind here, I've got Casaadi's in the back on the right, Breena's up front in the right, and then Lorcan and Rivali are over on the left.
Okay.
But you guys both fell. So, but again, You smell great.
Feeling good.
And so, like, everything gets kind of calm again, but now everybody's just sort of waiting. And there's a dum, 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 and come up, and an elf comes up. He's got a pretty large, like, captain's hat, like not comically large, but for his elven frame, yeah, kind of fits a little bit. And it's got a pretty normal sized feather in it, but it's like slicked back a little bit, so it's subtle. It's a navy blue hat with a purple feather, and it's got a bright gold band around it. It's hard to tell because the hat kind of covers a lot of the sun that's now starting to come up over the horizon. But with it coming up, you can tell that he is a drow. He is he's got his like captain's uniform on from the waist down. The waist up, he's still got like the buttoned up shirt, and he's like trying to put the coat on and everything. He's just like, what the bloody hell is going on up there?
Breakfast disaster.
Waves.
Monster breakfast. We're being attacked.
Waves and lost cooks. Messes galore. Incompetence and competence in turn.
You're behind him. He dramatically comes up into the scene, and there's like Casaadi in the background. Waves galore. You all have one use of inspiration because you all said breakfast, except for Casaadi. So that cinematically fits for me. Breakfast, waves.
The incoming doom. For you all, but not for us. I'm
gonna, again, don't want to play for you, so stop me if I'm wrong, but you're continuing to monologue while this next thing is happening. He's just, fixes his hat, pulls out his cutlass, and sort of, we weren't supposed to hit land for another 2 hours. We almost made it all the way. And with that,
we almost made it all the way. Like he knew this was a possibility.
Roll insight from the gumbo.
Insight from the gumbo is my grunge ska band. That's an 18 -1 for a 17.
17. So sure, yeah, you can. But Lorcan, with Lorcan rolling a 17, you thought of that question that Anne would think of normally. So Lorcan goes, he's saying that as if he knew this was going to happen.
A rare
You're not
moment
sure
for this boy.
You're not sure, but you're a little suspicious. Breena?
I 18.
18? So from you're like, he doesn't seem as surprised as everyone else, but he's definitely panicked. You don't think he expected this, but there is a little more of a intent to his response to everybody else's.
A definite possibility he didn't share.
And then, let's see, just figure out. Okay, so, of course, from the front of the boat where Casaadi is, and there's Casaadi and the captain, and then everybody else is kind of down a bit, springs out of the water. It's it's not a mind flare, but it kind of looks like one, with it's a dark purple hue with hairless skin and just sort of slicked back tentacles. Like think Suave Davy Jones here. And his torso is like impossibly long. Like he keeps coming out of the water and it's just more torso. And but other than that, he's in the Kraken face, but he's got a pretty general like build. He's actually got a really nice vest on, and it's just sort of like a white shirt with a black vest over it, and it's completely dry somehow. He's got the tie tucked in there, and he sort of sinks down, and as he gets down there, like, one of the tentacles kind of comes off to the side, and he very calmly slicks it back with the rest, and he sinks into the water, which again just looks like somebody's underneath pulling his torso down, because it just looks like a big water snake almost. And he kind of comes down, I guess, to you, Casaadi, because you're the closest. And he's just, excuse me, are you the proprietor of this here naval craft.
One of the heroes aboard this craft of which you will be speaking with. There is someone with the title captain, but he is unimportant right now.
I agree. I'm going to guess it's the fellow with the hat. That's a nice hat, sir. No response. Might
So
I
what
ask,
do you Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So what do you challenge us with? Or how shall we agree with you or disagree with you?
Challenge? Well, I mean, that's a bit assuming, but I like that you're to the point. I was wondering just what business you have in my neck of the woods, so to speak.
I was summoned here for the business in this neck of the woods. Others may have a more realistic response to that question. Impractical.
That is vague and unhelpful, albeit
We've got
polite.
extra breakfast if you want.
Roll persuasion. Not how I thought it would go.
21.
Breakfast. Shoom, slinks back into the water, rocket fast,
Oh no.
and sort of pops back up again. Just he's got like the vest. It's a normal size vest. It just stops at a normal size shirt, and after that, it's all just torso. And he comes up and he's like looming over you a little bit, not like menacingly, but just sort of like being tall, so to speak. He's like, "You came all this way to offer me breakfast."
Well, now you're here.
Side effect.
I just have a quick question for like theater of the mind. So
Yes.
he's like fully off of the boat, like there's
Is he like
continued
a giant
torso
snake
into the
thing?
water, and he's like over the side, and then
Okay.
Yeah, basically think like a kraken's tentacle coming up, except there's a person on the end of it,
okay,
like a sock puppet, but not a sock puppet.
okay.
A snake puppet.
Yeah, boy just keeps going.
I was just a little confused. Sorry.
Yeah, I understand.
Boy, it just keeps going.
Yeah, you know, I was going with the 22 from earlier. You know, I cannot argue that. And he takes a. Do you have a preference of what you like to keep?
Oh, help yourself.
Don't mind if I do.
Can I use the gumbo, like put my feet against the side of the deck and like slide on across the deck using the gumbo?
Roll it. Tell me what you want to roll for that. Like, you got to sell me on that one. Yes, you're going to do it, but I just
I think
You
it'd
throw
be
higher than Sean's eyebrow.
I think it'd be either probably athletics, because I'm like positioning myself and then pushing off to like get the good glide, you know?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll let you have it for the good glide.
Perfect.
In the meantime, I did nat 20 plus 8 my sleight of hand to hide both of my plates.
Okay.
I got a 27 to slide over there.
27. Okay. He did not roll a nat 20 for his perception, but he rolled pretty high. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Green.
Okay, my plates are safe.
What were you saying?
Oh, I'm just inner monologue. Like, I'm expecting him to take someone, not something. I'm on
Yeah.
my alert.
I hope so.
So he does. You know, oh, well, that's awful welcome enough. We'll take. I'll take. And he goes over and he gets like he kind of levitates, so slinks over, gets a couple of eggs, and he's just putting them into his hand. And he comes over, gets like one thing of sausage, scoops some gumbo, and as he does it, you notice his hand kind of like shapes out more and more. Like it's subtle, so it becomes like more of a bowl, and the fingers get a little bigger. Again, Silver's probably like taking notes, like, oh yeah, don't have to do the dishes after.
But then I get dirty.
And then he's like, that's awful welcome, and I appreciate that. He kind of mixes it together. He puts the gravy on the biscuit, sort of a deal, and I'll come back to you. What was your name, son?
Lorcan.
Lorcan. No last name?
Nah.
We'll get you one of them. I'll be back. I mean, goes back into the water, comes back up in the very front of the boat now, kind of looking over at
19
her.
insight on that? Because
That's a weird
What?
statement.
that's a statement. It was a 20, but I have a -1.
Is a natural 20 -1?
Yep.
It's basically like if he were sending it to you via text, he would put threatening in parentheses. And
So he's not trying to marry me. Understood.
You know,
The ocean did not propose. I see.
you cannot with a nat 20 -1, you cannot completely rule out a proportion. However,
There's a 5% chance.
it's like you're pretty sure he didn't mean that, but you're like,
But what?
you can't be 100%. Oh yeah, unless. But you're afraid to mention it because you
next
don't,
to each other.
because like you don't want to mention it because then you don't want to put the idea in his head. So like you're pretty
Or
sure that was not his
do I?
intent, but whatever it was, it didn't make a lot of sense and it was scary. And you're like, not sure, it was not good, but it was done with charm. So he comes back up to the front of the boat, and he's just like, somehow his food is also dry. And he's just, so can anybody answer my question better than the gentleman in the back? No offense, son.
There's never any taken. What is your name?
Thank you. That's very kind of you. My name is Shavel. That's Shaevul.
What's your last name?
Oh, we don't give out confidentiality, do we?
I thought you said
What
you
have
were
you
giving out last names.
Well, yeah. The bank gives out a loan, but, don't take it from you. While y'all chew on that one,
I can't chew
Y'all
on
can-
words.
I like him. It's
Mind me.
Quitter's attitude.
Thanks, I like
The-
them too.
you can call me Shay, you can call me Shavel, you can call me lots of things. I've been probably heard worse. But
I can call you late for breakfast.
no, you can't, thanks to you. Y'all are getting awful close to Rhys, and that happens to be owned by me and mine, so to speak. And I know that we've been having a little bit of trouble with folks disappearing, and that makes nice headlines for the city folk. And y'all want to come in here and draw your images and take things back for science. And let me check a little passive insight here.
Isn't the cook missing? 5 minutes ago, not even.
When?
It's not, I would say with you. Just roll insight for me, Breena.
Hold on. A 6.
6. Good to know. And he just is like, and to be frank with you, there's it's been affecting the homestead a little bit. First it wasn't that big a deal. Property values, a couple of different businesses taking economic boost. We don't mind a little tourism, but that is good gumbo.
Edward
kept
made
him.
it.
Should have kept him. The
Where'd he go?
would you like to find out?
Yes.
No.
He's our chef.
No, they would.
Will this be the challenge?
These are all very interesting responses, and I'm not sure who to respond to first. So I'm gonna ignore all of you.
Okay.
I'll get back to you, don't worry.
That's not very hospitable.
Well, unfortunately, and I hate for this to be a first impression because I consider myself a hospitable fella, but hospitality is not my intent. Now, I can't stop you from coming and landing on Rhys. I'm not a man who's going to tear your boat plank from plank. It's a nice boat, by the way. I'm going to tear your boat plank from plank. There are still multiple of you and just one of me. But it probably... Say again, I'm sorry?
Action economy, yes. You are correct.
Right.
If I beat you in an arm wrestling contest, will you tell us?
Roll persuasion.
Can someone help, please?
No.
Because I don't think I have proficiency. 2.
Son, let's not waste either of our time. But you look like you could give me a run for it. And I don't want to sweat in this suit.
Understandable. It's a really nice suit.
Plus you're covered in gumbo.
And it's delicious.
That I don't refute. But I will tell you, coming to Rhys is not going to be anything but trouble for visitors. I've been told by the city council that outsiders has a negative connotation, and we're really trying to break that perception, you understand? You understand.
I don't understand.
He does not.
I understand.
So I just, once more, if somebody could just give me a straight answer, or a direct one, if you will, what your business might be, if it's reasonable, if it's accommodating. I'm a man of reason. As like you just hear like a slap, almost like a wet towel slapping the water, a lot further away. But you consider me like the vetting process, so to speak, customs, if you will. Going once?
I'm here to be extra muscle in case things go wrong, because you never know if anyone is going to jump you.
That's fair. Is the whole boat here for that?
I don't know. That's just me.
Out of character. Why the fuck am I here? Brain.
That's up to you.
Okay.
There is no wrong answer.
My reasonings are similar to his in that I believe that this place has challenges for us. There are things that may be accomplished here, many wonderful things. Things that would grant us various experiences in life. Valuable ones. High value numbered ones.
You use your tongue better than a hungry cow. I think I like it.
Well, your perception of me is most likely important to you, yes.
Yeah. Self-embedment, though, I can go on with that. Is everybody here for a different reason?
I woke up here and adventure's exciting.
You'll fit right in.
Fantastic. Safe passage?
He sort of
What a Breena.
cocks the head, and his body language, if you can read the body language of a giant torso, he relaxes a little bit. And he kind of eyes, and you can tell people are spooked, and it's mostly just workers, and he's keeping an eye on the like guards with crossbows and things. But he does look over at standing out above the crowd in an excellently crafted podium, is just sort of like, what about you? I hate to assume it is Miss, correct?
Yes.
Miss High and Mighty, excuse me. That is a statement upon your elevation, not your demeanor.
It is a nice
Right.
podium.
Thanks, I made
It's
it.
excellently great. You made this?
I did make it.
You are full of surprises and gumbo. I like it.
Is
I'm
anyone
not
standing
full of
next to
enough
me?
gumbo.
I don't think so. No, you're a little off to the side.
Fuck. Okay.
I'm going to
sorry,
actually
go ahead,
stand
Breena.
up now also.
Okay. Sorry, Breena. I asked you a question and then cut you off.
Sorry, the question again?
Oh, just sort of like, what are you doing here?
Oh, okay. I'm here to sightsee.
That's well worded. Roll deception or persuasion, whichever you want.
I wanted to roll insight, but I got a 1.
Okay.
I'll roll
Minus
insight.
1. I have a 0 insight.
12.
It's a 6.
It's a 6.
I got a 12 on insight.
That was aggressively vague. And
Ooh.
you know that she's clearly not here to sightsee, but she's not technically lying. I will say that because you rolled a 6 total.
Yeah.
He rolled a 4 for a total of 9. So he's definitely distracted, but was sort of basically he was turning away and then like something caught him and said, and he's going to just slink up as fast as he can all the way up to you, and just sort of sightseeing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to him.
Yeah, I'm walking over.
Like, also, Sean, your camera keeps doing a green thing.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, well, at the break, you should
Look,
reset.
It's the voices.
I will, yeah.
Yeah.
The poisons take effect.
Oh no,
I was
yeah.
gonna say, no,
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to him, and then I'm gonna like look up and be like, with respect, I need you to take at least a foot slither back, because
You can say footstep. I understand how your feet work, and I would understand the kind.
I'm gonna have to ask you to take a footstep back away from one of the passengers of this boat. I am still here to provide a safe.
Roll.
Mind, you're a little close.
I know. Roll persuasion with advantage.
I'm so bad at persuasion.
In the meantime, I slide over next to Casaadi, and I'm like,
13.
he's ignored my answer straight up twice. He says he likes me, but I don't know if I believe him.
And then in your head, the same thing here. I think
I think I'm offended.
I have no clue what offense might be in this situation, but there is definite intent to talk past us.
In both of your heads. If I didn't like you, I wouldn't have talked.
But then you ignored
Nat
us.
20, baby!
His abilities come out, I see. Excellent. Good to hear from you.
And you. And I don't ignore you. But again, if I just gave you everything, if you were someone I did not want to keep, and you can tell he's still he's slowly slinking back a bit from Breena. Like, just politely, just sort of, and he's not moving his mouth, but you just sort of hear in your head, just like, if you are the types that, my occupation is to keep people out of Rhys who do not need to be in Rhys. If you were one of those people and I just came up and gave you all the information, I wouldn't have this job for long, and you might not get someone so civil.
And there wouldn't have been a challenge if we got all the information. You are correct.
I know I am. But camera pan back, just sort of, kind of gives you a little and eases back to a reasonable distance from Breena.
Thank you.
And it's just, I appreciate a professional. It's just you may be small, little one, but we know how to keep an eye on small folks. So don't think don't think you can slip by us. And that us is the first and only time you kind of hear the snake-like bias.
Sure. I don't make a habit of slinking in the shadows. I'm just gonna try and stand up a bit more.
I'm going to roll insight to see if he takes that as a shot at himself popping up out of the water. He does not. Well, good. This is lovely. The rest of y'all have sort of matching regalia here. I assume you're either the crew or a militia. Not sure which would end better for you, but you with a hat. You drow sort of. Stand up straight. He just kind of nods and like, I trust you won't be making a ruckus this time. And he kind of, in the drow, sort of does a little, yeah, just ferry, transport, protection if need be. if need be. He slithers back a little bit. And, Rivali, as he's slinking away back into the water very slowly, and you can just kind of hear the boom, 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 boom. He just turns and is like, what was your name again?
I'm Rivali Proudmane.
And he just gets a smile, a smirk, but it just kind of keeps going a little further than a face should. It opens up, so he's like, Rivali Proudmane. Make a wisdom save.
Oh no.
Silverbrand smirk. TM. R.
13.
Here's a black gold.
13. Y'all have a safe trip.
That's what I'm here for.
Wait, but Edward.
Edward's dead. I will. I was waiting until he was under the water, but if he heard, that's fine.
Just Edward's dead.
Yeah.
And
Fantastic.
comes up, and just out of nowhere, almost thrown out of there, is just a limp, unmoving body.
It's raining man.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies...
That's where I was going, so these both work.
They're the same song from two different perspectives.
Yep.
And yeah, so there is a half-orc, again, very pale green with little yellow in there, sort of just limply lying there. No apron, no hat.
Is it Edward? Like actually,
It is, in fact, Edward, yes.
Okay. Can I roll medicine?
You forgot his clothes.
He has most of them, the important ones, except for the identifying ones.
Can I roll medicine just to see if like he is in
Sure.
fact dead or not, and not just unconscious?
Sure.
21.
So,
Why is medicine a wisdom?
because if you do everything by the book, then half the people in house would have died.
That's fair.
Half.
I'm nice. So you kind of, again, don't want to play for you, but I can't resist here. You kind of slide through the gumbo down to the other side of the ship.
Good.
You kind of turn
That
over.
tracks.
Again, this landed on your side of the ship, Casaadi, so it's just like, thunk.
Yeah.
And then Rivali walks over and sort of check. You check for a pulse. You don't feel anything, but you're still checking a couple things. You're not certain that he's dead, but he's been underwater for a good bit, and he's kind of on his side, so you can't like get to his chest to do CPR or anything like that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna push him over to CPR.
You roll him over, and as you do, it's a completely different face. It is a almost a much more feminine face, but it's withered and like you're almost watching it decay. Like it's sort of like the skin on the front of his face is coming back to meet his skull, and it's a wretched gasp almost of just like. And I need you to roll a thing that I should have bookmarked but didn't.
Edward, you look like shit.
I will allow
Hey,
that
Captain,
to be.
who the fuck is this?
I will allow that to be the thing that you say. Yeah, you look like shit. And then I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Why?
Same again.
Dirty 20.
30, 20. So the
I have decent wisdom.
wow, that was good because that was a pretty high DC. So you actually see a almost spectral, apparition of this withered old feminine face coming out, and it reaches out to like put its hands in your ears, and Rivali, you don't
What?
even like move. Like, did you even notice this? It just sort of bonk
I used
And
to
then-
be a bouncer.
and just it's that energy. I'm just like, and then it goes away. You gotta, and then Edward just kind of, and it's his face again, and just water comes out like a full bucket of it. It just, oh, what the hell is that?
You know.
Edward, what did we tell you about having spirits while you're working?
I've never met you.
That was good.
It was good.
I'm
I like it.
angry.
If you didn't have inspiration, I'd give it to you again.
That's fair. Oh, I'm Rivali.
Edward, but you somehow know that.
Yeah, we heard your name.
Everyone's been saying your name.
I want to clamber down from my podium.
You're the only one with a name besides us right now.
Everyone has a name.
I don't know. It's
I'm
not needed.
just gonna physically like pick him up once again by like the.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Make a strength check, just because he's large and
That's
soaked.
21.
Yeah, like a wet towel, just sort of. Kind of cleans himself up. And he reaches into his back pocket, or like sort of where the hammer loop is on a pair of blue jeans, and pulls out like a ladle, and
Might
just
have
sort
been
of.
one of the most southern things I've ever
Oh
heard
yeah,
you say.
I almost said carpenter jeans, and I caught myself.
That's what they're
You still
called.
said hammer loop on a pair of blue jeans.
I'm sorry, I've been speaking as a southerner for a couple minutes now. Like, it's hard to get out of it once you do.
I mean, they are called
he
carpenter
pulls-
jeans.
Yeah. But where a hammer would be is a ladle. And he pours it, he pulls
yeah.
it, and it's empty, and he just sort of like spins it in his hand. Now it's got like a milky green sauce to it, and just sort of throws it in his face, everything. And as soon as it hits him, it just dissipates, and he's completely dry. He's just like,
What the fuck?
kind of slinks it back.
You want to help a boy out?
The gumbo!
If it makes
That's
you
awful.
feel better, it's really delicious.
Really? You think so?
It's very good.
You can.
Yeah, the man who almost killed you even lacked it.
Mama's recipe never fails. So we'll come back over, and Lorcan, you were saying something, and Breena, you were coming down off your podium.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I thought the face wasn't going to change, I shouted for the captain to see if he recognized it. But then when Edward did the thing, I yelled at him to fucking help a boy out because I am covered in gumbo also.
So Edward starts like grabs his pots and things that's fallen, and he's like walking down, and he stops and kind of looks, and because I can't remember what accent I used for him in the beginning, he just sort of kind of looks you up and down, like covered in gumbo, and it's just like, I don't see a problem. And then goes down into with roll insight.
17?
He's flirting with you.
Good shit.
Breena, what were you doing?
I'm clambering down.
I just didn't know if you were going somewhere after, or
Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, so I'm down. I grab my quarterstaff and I'm beelining for the captain,
okay.
and just like very menacingly kind of put the stick in his face, and it's like, so is this enough? Is this normal? Do you often just have your crewmates potentially thrown overboard and killed?
Roll
And
intimidation
possessed.
and possess. Sorry, Sean.
No worries.
Oh my god. Intimidation. 14.
14. The captain was like kind of not gazing off, but just sort of like, and so he sees his quarterstaff come up, and just sort of instinctively he kind of like that, and kind of stops it with a wrist, and he's like, I'm glad we didn't lose Edward. He's better than half a crew himself.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that. Yes,
He's lucky the
it's
border control liked his gumbo so much.
that is the an apt
What did you call him?
border control.
Nice.
It is an apt description. That's the welcoming committee. He's not normally this hostile. Um, the understanding here is that I bring people back and forth. They get the economy, they get the tourism. But
And apparently, occasionally, they get people.
that's a first.
He did
Well,
say people were disappearing.
It's not
oh,
a first.
from Rhys, yes, absolutely. I thought you meant from the ship. Sorry, I'm a little preoccupied with almost losing my best friend.
We're a little preoccupied with you not warning us about a giant snake man.
I didn't think there was anything to warn about. It's never happened before.
You knew him.
Sure, he's usually
And you
there
just-
when you get there. He makes a bad joke. He wears a different vest every day. It's, he's annoying, but he's never been dangerous. My
How different
apologies.
was he?
How different?
Demeanor. How different was he?
That's sort of what has me, perturbed. Not very. That's typically what he's like. He's sort of saying the same thing, but his actions are... Part of me wonders if he went after Edward intentionally. He's big target, big lug.
What did
is there
Edward
some
do?
kind of history or what?
He probably
Like
wants
I
the
said-
gumbo recipe.
I mean, who
Yeah,
doesn't?
shit.
The thing is fantastic. Trust me, he's got a million of them. It's I'm the one he knows. I'm the one that's on this ship every time. So, the guilty part of me feels that going for Edward might have been a shot at me, but Edward's also a large target, and is not the most subtle. Maybe nothing, but
You're not making much sense.
not a lot of this is. But
Information giver.
yes,
Captain.
that's what I'm trying to do.
What's gone wrong before? He
Roll-
specified that this was only the visiting. You wronged him before, haven't you?
Roll persuasion with advantage.
Dirty 20.
30-20. It wasn't intentional. I like Shavel. Sort of. I respect him. I was aware he was capable of that, but it didn't seem his personality type, Do I look back at you, or is it sort of a... I don't want to offend.
There's no offense ever taken. I'm beyond that.
Right, I'm gathering that.
He leans in a little closer.
You
But how have you wronged him?
bump into the hat. Blink.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Well-
straighten Casaadi up. Actually,
Yeah, the hat is reinforced. Like, that thing doesn't go anywhere. It was a misunderstanding. Everything had been doing well. They were getting tourists, and it's a small island. And can we get this thing sailing again?
You're dodging my question. Did you steal
I'm doing
from
my
him?
job. I did not steal from him. And
Did you
these
kill
people
someone
are
of
panicked,
his?
and they need someone to tell them what to do. And sure enough, like, people are kind of like going to their posts, and the people with the crossbows are like, they were just kind of milling about. But
Did you seduce his woman?
I swear this is a lover's tiff.
well, it just became one.
Oh my!
That is our problem we have to solve. Fantastic.
I mean, it's a problem that I have to deal with.
No,
Yeah, you've
that's why
tasted how
we-
good Edward's cooking is. I'm not going to taste any of it for a week after this. It's So there was a misunderstanding. We thought that the agreement was we would continue to bring people, all kinds, people with the money, people with interests, to invest and to grow Rhys's capital influence. Anything? I don't know.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
nobody said otherwise. But to be fair, we didn't ask. And in response, we're making a killing on the ferry, and I've got interesting people and capable people on my crew that you can't just pick up at the pub with a job. I met Edward this way. It's, and we got lazy. We got comfortable. and it is not related to the disappearances, to my knowledge. I mean, it's been months since between, but we brought the wrong types, and they're justifiably angry. But we've been negotiating for 2 months now. Nothing like
The
this.
wrong types.
Negotiating?
As the moths fly out of Casaadi's pockets. Ah, the wrong people.
Wait, what flew out of your pocket?
Moths.
Like a moth.
Rivali
I
is not
understand.
faced, I am.
In order, wrong people. I don't know exactly what happened. They won't let us in to see. They won't tell us. They speak in vague generalities, or they assume we know. And it's a
Niceties.
niceties, yes, nice versus kindness sort of a deal. And we can only assume that something invaluable was destroyed, offended. I don't think stolen, because they haven't asked us for anything or money to fix anything. So, but there's been more and more people at the port every time we get there. Listening to rumors, I've got, and he kind of looks over at Lorcan, my own network of stealthy types. They're whatever it is, people can't live where they want to. I don't know if because if it's a danger. I don't know if it's a red tape kind of deal, so to speak. I am the middleman, so to speak. I keep business going. As far as the operations goes, it's a bit above my head. But
So
I've been
you've got no spine.
starting to feel like it. Yes, I had told myself otherwise for a while, but then I almost lost Edward before I even got up here.
After we land. Well, actually, after I'm done my business here, you might want to rethink your life.
Yeah, I'm kind of there already. I appreciate that.
I do know a great tavern that could use a bouncer.
We'll talk.
Does it matter? After the ship, there is no more need.
Are you threatening me?
No, stating facts.
I think he's just like that.
Yeah, I think that's just how he talks.
I'm sort of at a 50-50 thing here. It's like he keeps doing it, but if he does, how would I know?
I rolled a 14 to see if he's into Edward.
Oh, yeah. They are... Yeah, they're a thing.
Interesting.
Okay.
He's into Edward, and it is reciprocated.
You should tell him to stop having spirits on the job.
That's very clever. I like that. I might wait. He doesn't have a temper, but he's sensitive, He's just...
I hear it's 2.5 weeks is when something is considered funny.
2.5 weeks. All right, that's,
Can I clarify something?
Yeah.
Breena guessed, is it a lover's quarrel thing? And Casaadi agreed, and the captain said yes, but then we moved forward and it just became the topic of we were ferrying people. Did I hear correctly that yes, it was a lover's quarrel thing?
He said it just became a lover's quarrel because he attacked Edward.
Oh!
So the captain did not seduce.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Now that makes a lot
Yeah.
more sense.
I understand that.
I
Yeah.
initially thought that, and I was like, oh. Oops.
Yeah, that was one of those things where it gets brought up, and I think, oh, shit, that's better than what I got. Nah, I'll keep what I got, because I've done that before. Just like, yes, that's exactly what it is. But
Okay.
that's what he was thinking. It's like, no, it's like just became like basically you're getting the sense that he's not necessarily playing the "I just work here" card, but he is just sort of the like, I'm as involved in this as I can be, as my job allows me to be. But there are limitations on that.
But now he almost murdered my partner.
Yeah, and so it's like going to the Barnes and Noble or the Starbucks in a Barnes and Noble and asking why they don't take Starbucks cards. Like, man, I don't know. I can't fix that. Like,
Wait, they don't?
they don't. It's a franchise. You know, it's we proudly serve Starbucks coffee.
I've never gotten drinks from there because I'm always like,
They're solid.
on something.
I guess it's kind of like going into a grocery store and trying to do the same thing.
Yeah. The
It's because the franchise stores have to follow the like policy of the store that they are in.
Under their jurisdiction.
Business 101 for y'all that have stayed with us. You might learn something.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm a business major.
I'm from the South. That's all I got.
7
Charm
years
my
of
way
food
through
service.
everything. Yeah, so that's where he's at. And then you asked something earlier, Lorcan, because Breena said the wrong type of people. And then you followed up with another question. I didn't get to it.
I did.
If it's not important, that's fine. I just want to make sure I didn't skip over you.
It was, but I asked it, and then because I said it out loud, I didn't write it down.
Okay.
It's fine.
Well, I'll go back and watch the VOD, and then we'll just video edit and answer in there.
Oh, yeah, totally.
We'll just read
but,
the entire session.
Yeah, all right. So, hi, welcome to Skull Chat. It's yeah, but I'm sorry, I'm scatterbrained and a little rude. Thank you for that. Could have gone much worse. I'm normally the silver tongue of the ship, but Shavel knew where to strike. I think, again, might have been coincidence, but I'm a little defensive. Here, let me, what are your names?
I'm Rivali Proudmane.
Everyone at the same time now.
All right, 3, 2.
No, I.
Oh.
Lorcan!
Casaadi. Okay. Unintentionally so.
Just looks down at Breena
Absolutely intentional.
and just kind of gives a little like, "Can you give me something here? Look." He looks down at you because you're the only one that didn't answer. It sort of gives you like
I did. I like after a pause, like Breena.
Breena. Well, Breena, I am Captain Haz. Thank you for protecting my ship when I failed to do so.
HAS?
HAZ.
Tell me, Captain. You know Edward, right?
Intimately.
Good. Make sure that he hasn't changed.
And he definitely, like, there is a note. If you have a passive insight of 5, you notice. So there is
It's 9.
quick change of just not anger, but like legit fear. Like, not my life is in peril, just sort of that gut drop feeling of just like,
Oh, fuck.
he kind of looks, he leans down to you, not condescendingly, but just sort of, you know, you get out of here, fly. Sorry, flew right into my face. He's trying to keep from wandering eyes and ears, and he's just sort of, what do you mean changed?
I don't know. Seems like the type. Well, not Edward.
Oh,
The other one.
Ed was, friendly, playful, but not.
Listen, we're going on an island where people disappear. They don't just take someone and then drop them back. Chances are, there's going to be something wrong with him. You know him. Keep an eye on him.
Oh, that was the spirit.
Spirit.
Yes.
The thing inside him that changed his face, that escaped after
It
bouncing
left.
off the iron head of Rivali.
There might be something else there. Just saying. Keep an
You're
eye
saying-
on it.
Something. I'm sorry, I'm not following.
There was a spirit. Something popped out of his body. We don't know if it completely popped out. There might be lasting effects that happen after we leave that will not be important to me.
Right. Thank you again. you're in the cargo biz. Yeah. Let me fix this. And he reaches into his back pocket, and he's like trying to leave, but also remembering he has to do things. And he pulls out four like little, I guess, pins. Little like lapel pins, and they've got. I drew this, but I can't describe it. It's sort of like a triangle, but the bottom is rounded, and the sides are sort of jagged. So like a comet falling kind of deal. I'm sure like at 2:00 this morning I'll go, that's the descriptor I should have used.
Shark's tooth,
But
kind of?
not quite. It's just basically when somebody goes Super Saiyan, the shape of the aura that goes around them.
Perfect.
It's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's a yellow, a blue, a green, and a purple one.
Well, I'll take green. It seems appropriate. I don't know what does this do? Is this an indicator of status?
Think of it as a express pass for when we reach. That way you can basically you're getting cleared through customs and security.
I'll take the
Thank
blue
you.
one.
Blue,
Wait,
green,
what was left?
There's yellow and green left.
purple,
No,
yellow, and
green.
purple.
Purple, sorry.
I'll take the yellow one.
No. I have other colors if you, Rivali, if you don't want purple.
Do you have a white one? So it can match my beautiful complexion.
One moment. And he kind of flips it, and it lands in like the brim of his hat, and he spins it, takes it back out. There you are.
Thank
And it's shining white, matches perfectly.
you. Yes.
Right. So when we land, just show these to. I might be able to get you in, but I might be busy. And he kind of looks around and notices that like people are starting to mill about again, checking on Edward, making sure that nothing's changed.
Mentally or physically?
To be determined. Not sure what kind of mood he's in.
I have
But-
a question.
Yes.
So we've been on this boat for like 3 days, yeah?
Yeah, this is like the end of the third day.
I think I would have met Edward before today.
Roll just charisma. With advantage, because yeah, he is in the area where you would normally be.
20 plus 2.
You absolutely know that you've seen him a million times. You've interacted with him. You just like, yeah. I mean, you've met him. You as much as like a regular would be at a restaurant who has a favorite chef.
Yeah. Was
Yes.
hitting on me out of the ordinary.
No.
Okay.
You're surprised it took that long.
Fair enough.
And actually, with a 22 on the charisma, now you're sitting here thinking like you realize that you are covered in the gumbo that he made, and you're like, oh, I get it. Yeah. And so, but unless anybody else has any other questions, we should be docking pretty soon.
That'll do.
Nice. Okay, well, we should be there within 45 minutes to an hour. When departing, you can just go off the front, show the lapel. Nobody should have any problem. Watch out for any otter folk. You can miss them easily. They're very friendly. And yes, thank you again. If you have
Thank
any,
you.
oh,
Out of
those will
character,
also-
thank you.
if there's one thing I can do, it's promote myself. If it's and don't worry about you get your things from your rooms, but if you go past the captain's quarters and take a left, you'll find something much more
Much more what?
comfortable.
Okay.
I got stuck in a certain part of my mouth on that accent, so it kind of came out. But yeah, so unless anybody has anything else, that puts us at 11. So I think that puts us time for a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finger guns. That
Good shit.
was really well done. This is why you don't spend too long on encounters, kids, because they might
Breakfast
dodge them
drama.
all.
Guess I was to break in now.
We'll be back in 10 minutes.
We'll be back in 10.
Ooh, see you soon.
If we're not back by then, just wait longer.
Someone probably murdered us.
No.
and that's how everyone drowned,
Fuck.
Again.
It's the third time
except
this
for
week.
Casaadi.
Wait, no, I can breathe underwater for up to an hour.
That's on you, man.
I
Somehow.
forget as I'm drowning.
Shay
So-
is just very convincing.
The let's see. Okay, yeah. So did anybody have anything they wanted to do before they got to shore? It's like 45 minutes or so.
Cleaning myself up from the gumbo.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I'm going around with prestidigitation.
Clean things up.
And I'm
Yeah.
gonna before Breena gets to Lorcan, I'm gonna be like, "You gonna eat that?" And just point to like the gumbo and the hair.
In my hair?
Yeah.
Wasn't planning on it.
I'm gonna take a big old lick.
With your tongue?
Yep, with my lion tongue.
Charisma 4.
A lion tongue indeed. Could you at least use your hands?
Okay.
Thank you.
I still don't have hands. I have paws.
Well, take a pause and figure it out.
Okay, give me a
You
second.
guys want a hand, or are you guys gonna just do that?
Well, you don't want it to go to waste, do you?
Right. I'm just gonna go prestidigitate.
Wait, but help me
elsewhere.
afterwards.
Wait, no. I'm sorry.
I'll come find her after they're done eating.
I'm
Casaadi?
on the bow of the ship, staring at the challenge to be the island ahead. That's where it will be.
It's very. I don't know if you've played the first Tomb Raider, like the newer ones. Everything. There's a scene there where like Lara Croft is like looking out at the island, and it's very like Lost vibes, where like the rain's coming into the wind, and it's very dramatic. I just picture Casaadi doing that. Same intensity, much better weather. Sort of. I'm on the wrong page. Okay.
Don't do that.
Yep. I fixed it. Luckily, there's only 6 of them. So goes on. Maybe. So yeah, you get there without incident. You know, everybody's really on edge. I mean, just after that, and any kind of like increase in water motion or loud splash makes everybody kind of. One guy actually. Let me see. Actually, yeah, one guy just kind of jumpily like shoots a crossbow bolt into the water. He gets like admonished by his superior and sent down. No, I'm sorry. Give me the crossbow. Give me the beds that you were in before are like much nicer. If they were designed for you to have had a combat, but since you didn't, there's no need for you to have like a long rest with benefits in a short time.
I don't know. I took 1 emotional damage.
You did take 1 emotional damage,
My
but
bad.
it takes time. It takes time. You have to come to terms on it yourself. You have a charisma 4, so I'm not sure how long that's going to take. You'll either forget or move on.
Yeah, exactly. Charisma 4 and intelligence of 8.
Winning. Out here winning. You win an arm wrestling contest, and you feel much better about yourself, so you get your emotional point back.
Okay.
So, yeah, I guess you guys just rest, everything, and so as they come to dock, it hasn't docked yet, but it's sort of just kind of like basically waiting its turn in line to do so. And the ship's just resting. And well, actually, I'll ask you, Breena, what are you doing? Because you all have your separate cabins now. There's 4 separate cabins with a bed and like a vanity, storage space. How have you been killing the last hour or in the last 15 minutes or so in the cabin?
15 minutes?
Basically, it's like a last call. We're gonna dock soon. Go ahead and get your stuff, kind of deal.
Probably just pacing.
Yeah.
Pacing back and forth. This is gonna be harder than I thought. Fuck shit. And then just kind of put everything away.
Okay. Rivali?
We said I did a arm wrestling contest to feel better, so.
That tracks. I can go with that. Lorcan, anything you were doing? Like, basically the captain comes and says, hey, we're going to be talking 15 minutes. Anything you're doing in that time.
Yeah. Need to roll a die. Come here. Okay. Since I did talk to Shavel telepathically, I can do that as long as he's within a mile of us for 3 hours.
Okay. So you're down to 2 hours, roughly.
Yeah. I had to roll a d8 for it. But I want to reach out and I'm looking at my notes. I'm sorry.
You can't just leave it hanging there. I can't. That bass line just starts repeating.
Suffer.
Do. You're around.
So you did never answer if I get safe passage.
And so as you make this rapport, it's like you just get like an ambiance of like distracted busyness kind of a deal. It's sort of like when you call somebody and they answer the phone while they're like on a crosswalk or something. And so you can hear like all this stuff going on in the background, and it's jarring at first because you're just calm, you're in your own mind, you're doing this, and all of a sudden you're dropped in the middle of like a busy cityscape, audibly speaking. And so you feel Shavel reach back out, but it's definitely with less focus than before. He's multitasking, and so he's not diverting his entire brain power into communicating with you.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, you made it, didn't you?
So far.
Seems safe to me.
That's not a real answer.
What is?
You say what is?
Yeah.
Yes or no, usually.
Well, yes. Here you are. Now, I got a job to do if you don't mind. I don't mean to be rude, but don't want to leave other people hanging.
No, I don't think you ever mean to be rude.
That's not true. Everything I do is intentional.
Sure.
Bye now. Click. There is a distinct
Love
click.
awkward phone calls. Okay, that's it. I'm good.
Casaadi?
Going down to his cabin and just grabbing a backpack with a broken strap that has all of his worldly belongings, slinging it over his shoulder and just shuffling on out.
How many lab coats do you have?
Oh, no lab coats. His
That
mage
was
armor.
just okay.
Yeah, mage armor, which will 8 hours, it's still active. A radiant white with a little sickly green tinge to it that's just flowing over.
I had it in my head that there was nothing in that bag but lab coats.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I
Yours
was
is
kind
much
of
cooler.
hoping.
The whole like throwing the cloak on is really cool. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
Can I roll sleight of hand to see what's in your bag?
I gotta beat a 10.
I can roll stealth first if I need to.
I mean, passive perception of 10, gotta beat just that.
My stealth
I guess.
bonus beats that?
Yeah, I was about to say you're rolling that one. Roll to see if you get in that one.
That's a 29 stealth.
So there's a few different. There's standard adventurer wear, crowbar, manacles.
Scrolling through your inventory.
There is a mirror in there for some reason. Tinderbox, steak, torches, rations, a couple potions of healing. Pitten? I think that's for.
It's for climbing.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. It's for
Rhys has
water
4.
skins. Oh, okay. Good to
Of
know.
course he does.
A hand axe, a couple daggers, another set of raggedy clothes.
When you say, in case the other ones get dirty. It's,
Exactly.
With combo.
The only important things are a pole collapsing and a rod of the Pact Keeper +1, which seems
When
to
you
almost
say-
look like a sword handle.
When you say steak, do you mean like to kill a vampire with steak?
Yeah, EA or KE?
KE, wooden
Okay.
stake. It's
Yes.
Got it.
I have 9 of them for some reason. It's probably standard adventure.
Well, you
guide.
had 10 for the vampires.
You never know.
He had 100 before the railroad.
But
I do also
I guess
have
I won't
holy
take
water for some
anything. I
reason.
just
Don't
wanted
know
to know
why.
for later.
and,
Give me a spade, and I'll give you a hole.
I had to let you finish. I can't cut that off. The starts getting drawing near the end here a little bit, and I keep want to call him Haggis. I don't know. I think the gnome Gapodium thing is stuck in my head, and I'm just adding G's where they don't need to not be.
Good.
As I keep calling Haz, who I've been working on for like a full week, has existed for months in my head, but I keep calling him Haggis. It's Haz. Haz walks in. He's a lot more casual. He's still got his captain's outfit on, but he's not wearing the coat or the hat right now because he's
I guess that would
inside.
help.
Roll insight.
Can I also roll insight?
I'm great at that. 6.
6. Sure, Rivali, because you've been making conversation here.
Alright.
Breena and Casaadi, I don't think you would care.
I rolled an 8, but my passive is also 15.
My passive insight is 9.
Yeah, you can't tell if it's anything to do with Edward or not. He's definitely like falling into the routine of the job. Like he's like
He is
okay,
not afraid of his partner currently.
right.
The end.
The end.
Okay,
I mean-
that's fair.
To be fair, I would keep an eye on that,
Yeah.
but more on the like checking
Now-
that there's no funny business. All right.
Hey. Sometimes you can do more than one thing at a time. Oh no, there we go. So he's like, look, I really appreciate seriously. I understand that was a lot back there and that could have gone so much worse. I feel like you need a little bit more of a reward than 45 minutes of a nice rest. Come with me. And and now that he's got the hat off, you can see his hair, which is sort of a silvery white, or a silvery white with purple, and but like as it moves, it's sort of nondescript. It's just long enough to where he can like spike it a little bit, and it's high and tight on the sides. But like as it moves, whenever it hits light, it kind of shimmers like a little viridian back and forth. Breena and Casaadi, if you think your character would care about that, roll insight. If not, shrug.
No. Anything. Everything.
I care about magic hair.
What is it? Insights?
Yeah.
I probably don't notice
10.
it.
I don't
10?
know hair.
Yeah, there's it doesn't naturally do that. You're not sure if he's using a magic product or if it's just like a constantly going cantrip, or if it's just a cosmetic thing, or if it's something that makes him feel comfortable. You don't know. That's not normal. You move on.
I take my last comment back.
And he walks to the end of the room that has all of your cabins in it, and there's just a bit of a white wall there, and he's like, does anybody have a blade I could borrow? Preferably nicer, but not necessarily a requirement.
I think I do, actually.
He puts
I
back.
think so.
He puts back the very rusted dagger.
I have 2
No
daggers. I'll hand him one.
Not necessarily my forte. But
I'll hand him a longsword.
Thank you. No offense. I just comfort and everything. Balance. He hands you back the dagger.
I hold it up on one finger, all balanced and shit. Like,
See,
I
can't do that. Yeah, see, works for you, not me. I'd lose a toe. And he's like, fine weapon you got there. All right. And he kind of keeps tapping the wall with the sword. No. Moves all the time, finicky thing. Take a step back, please. And then
I do not.
everybody but Anne lean back. All 3 of you. He just whack, hits on it. Yep. And then as he hits it, the wall cries out in pain and just sort of goes like, and like teeth come up from the side of it, and kind of reach out to chomp on, and he very casually catches a tooth, twists it, and it kind of goes, and I go, And he's like, yes, I know it's been a minute, but I have company. Don't embarrass me. And this long purple tongue rolls out. All right, after me. I promise you, he's quite sanitary. He's just, he likes to act out in front of company. He likes to push what he can get away with. Don't you? He's really a sweetheart once you get to know him. And he walks inside.
Did he pull the tooth out?
No, he just twisted it. Like it was doing this, and now it's doing this.
So he fixed it?
No.
He twisted it.
I'm gonna big old confident strides following.
I'm gonna push it back as I walk by.
You gonna push it back?
Yeah.
Okay. Make a strength check.
Great.
Because this tooth is like as big as you are.
You
I'm
have senior
6.5
big
feet
guns.
tall.
You have senior big guns if you need help.
5 minus 1.
You kind of pull it, and it's like trying to move your own tooth out. Like it ain't going anywhere.
Not with that attitude.
And as you do that, like the tongue just sort of like shrivels a little bit.
I keep walking.
Wouldn't touch that. I'm just gonna make sure to pick up my cloak so that it doesn't touch anything.
I'm gonna make sure I walk over the part that twitched.
Nothing happened.
I figured.
And as you walk in, it's like pitch black. But then as soon as you step into the blackness, you're in a completely different room. And among that is it's just a bunch of boxes and chests and sort of like framed weapon, like in Skyrim when you see a sword that's in a glass casing kind of a deal. And you're just like, it says very hard, but I just have to listen for that second click. And it's so there's just stuff everywhere. And Has just sort of looks about, he's like, the best defense against pirates is to have them think they give them something else to steal, so to speak.
Like your boyfriend?
No, that's stolen by psychotic snake people. No offense.
I don't think any of us are snake people to take offense.
Well, I mean, just
Oh, the Dragonborn. No,
yeah,
it's
that was more of a shot, specifically at Shavel, but I didn't want to just unintentionally offend.
Shavel, are you a snake?
No, Shavel was the snake.
No, sorry. I got names mixed up for a second.
Casaadi.
Casaadi, are you a snake?
Dragonborn are snake adjacent, but again, I'm beyond offense.
There, see?
I'm picking that up, but I still want to keep good habits. Anyway, let's see, where was that? And he comes in, he's moving boxes around, and this is a big room. Like judging by the room you were just in and kind of understanding your schematics of the boat, like it shouldn't be here. It shouldn't fit here. Like there should be a giant block on top of the crow's nest where this is. He's like, here we are, and just pulls, basically pulls a lever on the ground, and it all, as if it was on wheels, just kind of rolls out of the way into the wall and disappears. And then behind it are just several red and yellow chests. Think like the most Legend of Zelda basic looking chests you can think of. And so there's about, I've got it written down actually. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there's about 15 of them that look this way. And there's several others that look different. There's like gray rusted ones. There's pots because I'm making Legend of Zelda references. There's, other like it looks like somebody's garage on the wall where everything's stacked. So these we actually keep on hand for any kind of rewards that we want to give out in case, if 4 strangers happen to save you from being killed by a big snake monster. Person, big snake monster, person. He has feelings. He's still a dick. It's So essentially, what you'll do is you'll just pick a chest, and each chest has different properties, but it picks up on what you like to do, what you use, and there are rumors that it has a little bit of prescience and can see what you're going to need. I don't necessarily buy into that, but I've seen more than one coincidence happen. So
What kind
take
of
a pick.
ferry boat is this?
You can just say Fae for short. That's fine. Ferries has like a bit of confusion.
Oh, I meant ferry as in transporting people.
Oh, language is funny,
No
and
way.
English is dumb.
All right, interesting.
Well, it wasn't always a ferry.
Huh.
But was it ever a ferry?
That's what the pirates wonder too. So
we just pick one?
pick a number 1 through 15, essentially.
I'm gonna pick the most moderately sized. No, the smallest looking one.
The smallest looking one would be
For comedic effect.
absolutely. You notice I didn't question it at all.
The anti-meta.
That would be 14. Okay, so
I picked this one.
it is literally like in a normal human hand, it would be like the size of a button. So, like in your hand, it's like I have nothing around me that would be small enough, but like a little screw. All right, so just lift the lid there. Like it pops open, and you see before you. Do this here. Do I have 15 stacks of magic item cards? You bet.
I don't believe you.
All right.
I would expect
We'll count.
nothing less.
I would expect 3 times that from Jacob.
Honestly.
It's a one-shot campaign. We'll talk. So these all have been painstakingly balanced to where they have everything from ranging from common to very rare. There is more common and rare in there, and they're mostly good. There are a couple that are cursed. There are a couple that may not be very helpful at all. But I have like, again, when I say painstakingly, I mean, okay, so if Rivali picks 4, they're going to get a different chest than if Breena picks 4, because it makes no sense for Breena to pick 4 and get Rivali stuff. Is there an easier way to do this? Sure, but I was halfway through when I figured that out. Hyperfocus is undefeated. Sir.
I think that's how they do in Adventure Zone. It's pretty normal. It's fine.
Also, while I open the chest, I want to activate the Cloak of Billowing.
Okay, yeah, you open it.
Yes.
Just paint it for me. Do my job.
All right, I'm going to pick up the chest and look around and just... And then as I'm like slowly lifting it, the cloak just like starts billowing more and more until it's fully open. It goes...
And the chest actually disappears. You're just holding nothing now. And in front of you, you see up on a very familiar looking but much smaller podium, you see a set of boots. And they have a description on here. Yeah.
A brand.
They are a brand new. Come on down. They seem to be pretty normal looking boots. They're dark brown, they're leather. They seem to be worked a little bit. Like they've seen some use, but at the same time, they're like the creases and the folds in them look brand new, like they've not been used. It's like a grunge aesthetic. I don't know. At the top, where the cuffs are, it is red and frayed, and like I don't know how to describe this other than it looks like too red. Like fabric shouldn't be that color, red.
Insight check?
You can do an Arcana check.
Alrighty.
Or an Insight if you want to, but the DC will be higher.
Would it be higher than passive 15?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll just roll Insight anyways. Well, it's worse, so never mind.
They're creepy looking, but, they... You can tell, I mean, with a good passive insight like that, you can tell they're not nothing. You can tell this is not just like a gag common item or something that would be fun in role play, but but other than that, you have no idea of its intent. You have no idea if it's more good or more bad, or if it's like a movement or a defense thing. You just know them shoes is magic.
I rolled a 0 on insight.
You cannot see what Rivali is looking at.
Hey, Breena, you're like really smart, right?
What?
Can you tell me what's so like? These boots are really red. Can you like?
So the three of you just see 4 shimmering lights of different colors, and they all kind of alternate. So they're just kind of floating there.
You're not holding shoes.
I'm gonna grab the shoes and be like, yeah, I am. Come on.
You are holding this floating. I mean, it's trying not to deafen people. It's doing this.
Okay.
Ooh, I've never seen that.
I try not to see it. It's over here because attention deficit, but it's a good microphone.
I mean,
You're holding
are-
things in flux.
Can I Arcana check this?
You absolutely can.
What's a flux?
Fun game.
That's true.
got it here.
Mm-hmm.
Flux, please sponsor us.
That's a
Please.
that is a 23.
23. So these are... You know a lot about magic, Breena. Like, not just your specific school, but because of the things that your school can do, you felt it necessary, at least I assume, to learn about the others so you could learn how best to defend against them. Because you're not in, spoiler alert, you're not in evocation school. Like, you're not casting fireball left and right. But, there's definitely strength in what you do. These are not just working with a mixture of illusion and enchantment school. It's neither yet both. These aren't from you don't feel like they're from a school. They have similar properties. This is old magic. Like, this is the stuff that the concept and idea of what magic is. This is where that came from.
Do I have an idea of like good source or
But that it's hard to tell just because it is such an old magic that's protecting it. But again, with that good of a roll, your education starts to slip a little bit, and just sort of your natural feel for things takes over. Your wisdom more than your intelligence, if you will. And you kind of get this thing of, if careful, these can be really good. If reckless, these could be really bad. Most people will be fine, in the sense of it won't blow up their feet or anything. But it's not the most friendly. It's not the most friendly pair of boots. That's a sentence. Somebody tweet that. So it's not a danger, but it's not dangerous.
Well, this is definitely old magic, and well, considering you might either hurt yourself with them or they might be helpful. It's kind of hard to tell considering how you are.
I get that a lot.
That's the vague I usually do.
I'm gonna put on the boots.
Yes. You're gonna put on the boots?
I'm putting on the boots.
Well,
I'm backing
just
up.
just so you know, if you do that, you don't get to look at the other 3.
There's more.
Yeah, there's
No,
4 things
in character.
Oh, okay, yeah, but yes. See, I just see lights and things, but right, yeah. You get to choose from any of these, but if you put it on, or like if it's a weapon and you take a swing with it, then that's your choice.
Oh. Okay. Oh.
I
Out
just
of
don't want you
character
to-
now. Show me the money.
I just don't want you to There's a reason I show you these things, because that's what happened to me. And he spins his hat.
I mean, to be fair, your hat's really cool.
It helps with the drow thing. Won't lie, but you always wonder what it. I've seen what other people get, and an illusion hat's fun.
So if we hold the blob, we get to see something else.
The last time I saw somebody hold somebody else's choice, their arms went back inside their body. And so I just tell them not to touch now. That might have been one bad thing, but why risk?
An appropriate response.
Yes. He takes like a half step away. Yes, it is. So also there is a very normal looking belt with, it just looks like a leather strap, and it's got the buckle looks like a small seat cushion almost. It's just blue with two white stripes, and it's got like the 4 buttons in the middle, and that's it. This is going to be really fun between like Rivali, who has the charisma of 4 and the intelligence of 8, and describing these things to Breena, who has like, the magic intelligence.
I cannot see. I see only lights.
Next to the belt is a vest. It's more like a sleeveless button down. It's blue, and it's got a nice little pop collar to it. And there's like where the sleeves are cut off, it's got a little bit of extra, pointiness right here on the shoulders. And there are 5 like big metal buckles that go down it. And the last one is a hand axe. It looks a bit bigger than the kind you're used to, but to you it's still relatively small. I mean, it's one paw axe, if you will. But the blade of it is the wing of a bat, and at the other end is just like a very small ornamental demon head.
I'm debating between the boots and the belt because accessories are important.
I mean, you're probably going to be wearing it for the rest of your life, so...
That was ominous as fuck.
I mean, I understand the assumption, and it can happen, absolutely. But you're not bound to it, so to speak. I think they do get offended if you don't like it or use it at all, so just be polite.
You want to piss off your hat?
I like my hat. It's very helpful. I just more lament the lack of knowing my other choices. But, he pulls out a coin, a little copper piece, and spins it in the hat. Comes back with a piece of bubble gum. It's entertaining.
How's it taste?
Oh, fantastic. Cotton candy today.
I'm going to take the belt.
Belt. All right.
So it was shoes, a belt, a sleeveless button down, and what?
A hand axe where the blade is the wing of a bat, and it has an ornamental demon head on it. All right. So
out of character, I really wanted to take the shirt because shirt. But like
where?
But chainmail.
Tearaway shirt.
Yeah.
So you have the seat belt. So what this does is, while standing on a solid surface, you can begin to sit down in an open space as if there were a chair beneath you. When you would normally crouch or fall to the ground when doing this, you can mentally command the belt to summon an invisible, incorporeal chair as a bonus action instead. It can be of any style you choose, such as stool, recliner, throne, or rocking chair. It can support up to 500 pounds. It is comfortable, and it is nevertheless invisible and cannot be interacted with beyond simply sitting on it. The chair disappears if it is no longer on a solid surface, you stand up, or if you are pushed or moved while sitting.
Perfect.
I want one in real life.
So you put the belt on, and as soon as you do, a light comes over the room, and the other 14 chests pop up. Oh, I think it's giving you a second one. That's rare.
I get a second choice?
Suppose so. I've seen it happen twice before. Once when somebody was not happy with the item, politely, and once when, I mean, they were happy with it, but it was pretty much cosmetic. It doesn't want you to feel cheated.
That's understandable. I think you're really awesome, Belt. I'm gonna put it on.
It's really nice. I mean, no, like you get an additional one. You can keep the belt. Please don't reject the belt.
I'm not. The belt looks really cool. And then I'm gonna go eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Number 11.
Number 11. Okay. Number 11 is actually a circular chest. Get 11 here.
I'm gonna tell the chest, you look very pretty. I'm gonna give it a little pat.
Roll persuasion with advantage.
I'm not trying to persuade it, but...
And add your wisdom modifier.
Add my wisdom, you say? 24, sir!
It giggles. And you get...
I hate that.
You see... No, it's really charming. Like, it's very much like, oh. Like, it's not a loud giggle. It's just sort of a...
I don't like it.
It's a Reaper's giggle.
You get...
Just start writing it.
You see 5 items come out of the chest instead of 4.
Oh my.
What the fuck?
The first one you see is it looks like an upside down bucket, but upon further inspection, it's actually a helmet. Think like the Black Knight, it looks just like the Black Knight from Holy Grail. Like it is a black cylindrical helmet with the slots and everything. There is a sickle that has like a bit of water dripping off of it constantly. You see a neck piece that has like intricate vines all around it, and then you realize that's all it is. It's just a set of intricate vines with a gem in the middle. Kind of looks like it's, I don't know how to describe it other than just like a neck piece that you would put on like an old Victorian shirt.
Bolo tie or whatever that is.
A little bigger, but
Like
yeah,
that.
kind of. You see I don't know how else to describe it. A gnarly old stick with 2 pieces of rope tied on the ends. And then you see a plain white handkerchief.
Just
This is just the first row of me trying to search for costume shit on Etsy.
Go over the... So there was the necklace, there was a scythe, there was a handkerchief.
A stick and a very common looking helmet. It's a sickle, if that matters.
No, not really, but...
Okay.
I'm really debating between the neck piece and the handkerchief, if I'm being honest.
Either one.
Jacob, which one is even, which one's odd?
What do you mean? They're both.
I'm assigned...
The handkerchief is odd.
Okay.
Okay.
Handkerchief it is.
Handkerchief. All right. The other 4 disappear. I was about to say it's number 3 and 5 in my list. I don't understand.
They're both.
I almost said they're both. That's stupid. Don't say that. So you also have the chroma cloth. Cloth is enchanted using a unique blend of abjuration and evocation magic, allowing it to be used for a number of purposes. At any one time, it can be one of 4 colors. So red, yellow, green, or blue. Just what does Rivali feel? What color does Rivali feel as you pick it up?
Red.
Red. So, it basically immediately bonds to you like a symbiote. Like it almost attacks you, and it kind of feels your skin and slumps around and kind of like fixes your facial hair, gives you a little like that, and then comes up and ties itself into a do-rag, and then sort of gives you like a questioning tug, like, is this okay? Is right here? And it comes down and like makes itself into a wristband. Same thing, like, you prefer right here? Is this all right?
Yeah, put it on left wrist.
And then it kind of, as it does, it kind of picks up like what you do, so to speak, and it starts threading itself and becomes really thin and starts kind of weaving in between your knuckles, and it becomes almost like a very flat set of brass knuckles. It feels like a honestly feels like a nice, cool, thin towel.
These are so cool.
It squeezes your fingers happily.
You should punch something.
I can arrange that. And I don't think he ever gave your sword back. So he's just sort of stabs the roof a little bit, and he's like, "Can you give us a hand here?" And you hear, and shunk, like
I
a
forgot
big.
we were in a mouth.
Another sentence to tweet.
Good.
A big wooden dummy just slides up out of the floor.
Okay. So because Rivali is stupid, I'm gonna hit it with my right hand first, like a big old slug.
Got it. Roll a just roll a melee attack.
Do you want just the damage or like a straight up like 2 hit?
2 hit.
Okay. I'm actually gonna try D&D Beyond.
Yeah.
10. I rolled a nat 1.
Right. So you hit it, and literally nothing happens. Your hand does not hurt. It doesn't buckle. There's no like sound even. You just hit it and it goes.
Oh wait, I should try with this one.
It squeezes enthusiastically.
All right.
Don't tweet that sentence.
Watch
That
me.
one is much better at 23.
Right. So you slam into this thing and it just erupts into flame. Like it fills the room and then absorbs back. So you can choose to replace your damage type with fire, but you have to choose before you declare your attack. Also, it can be fashioned to be an effective sling if you want to do a ranged attack. Ammunition fired from the sling deals damage of a type matching the color. And then you can use a reaction once per day and once per dawn to hold your hand out and resist fire damage.
Okay.
And I'll DM you this stuff.
Please do.
Yes. Nope, gotta remember it. Okay. Memorize the VOD, boy.
And then I'm gonna be like, yeah, this is so cool. I think we've earned a rest, and I'm gonna.
As I forgot the chair. The seatbelt. I forgot. So as you basically look, this is so cool. You realize you're already back with the group with the others, and the rest of you never saw them move. You were just like, yeah, that's weird. I don't like that either. Who's up next? And I'll try to expedite these. I know we're up against the clock.
The dice chose 15 for me.
Francesca, did you want to go next? Because you have to go?
No, it's all good.
Oh, yeah.
Just want to check. Go ahead, Sean. Sorry.
I was going to say, I forgot about that. I also was trying to figure out where my finger's actually pointing. Yeah, go ahead. Just don't choose 15.
You've been chosen now.
You're absolutely fine. Go ahead.
No.
I'm not leaving.
Okay. 15th.
Yeah. Cool. That's the deck I grabbed. All right. All right. You have to. Okay. Yeah. There we go. All right. Sean. Yes. Now you. Casaadi, you feel another kind of groan and eye roll of just like, we don't have to be clever about this. Like, really, let's just. But.
Give you my power and we can move on.
So 15 walks up to it. You walk up to it and it looks like a normal red and yellow chest. As soon as you touch it, it becomes basically your color scheme. And then it starts to it smells like you. It's got the little acid stains where it drools. And then when you open it up, there is another chest inside of it that is like twitching around. And then it kind of looks at you with eyes that chests do not have, but just kind of and just bamps out. And then once it does that, fills the room with light, and
I was going to say it was reaching for a dagger, but if it was going to keep moving.
You see 4 things in front of you are it looks like a bent piece of metal, like it used to be a fastener and everything. On an old pipe, but upon further inspection it is a ring. And it is pretty plain and rusted. It does have the symbol of an anchor on it. You see what can only be described as a small tree. It is a long limb, and then there is a like cylindrical bush on the top of it.
Okay.
You see a very finely made bow and arrow with red, like red. I wish I could not describe these, but you can't. It's got like red eyes on it. Think like red cat eyes, and with just glowing purple orbs in them.
Hmm.
And the I will say when you look at, I can't not. When you look at the short bow, you get a feeling in your head of like, essentially for the first time since you can remember, that feeling in your head stops moving for a second. And it's like, and roll insight with advantage.
Saying why is it quiet?
It is quiet. It's still there, but it just
Okay.
like stopped and looked at that.
16.
16. It's a sort of, you can't tell if it's looking at it with recognition or if it's actually talking to it. It's talking, but you're not sure it's always talking. So,
Hmm.
um,
Interesting.
and the last one you have is a dagger that kind of looks like a tooth almost, and it's got little spined ridges near the bottom. It's tied together with a bloody handcloth on the hilt, and there appear to be like pieces of old paper that are stuck to the blade, almost like they're inside the blade.
The fourth one matches the aesthetic, but the third one just piques my curiosity, so I gotta go with the bow and arrow.
I try to make them evenly like enticing, but it was just sort of a, oh shit, this you would react to this. So you take one long look at that dagger, and then you grab the short bow.
Still looking at the dagger, grab the bow and arrow.
So this is a short bow, and arrows fired from this bow deal an extra 1d4 psychic damage to any creature that they hit.
Woo!
I assume it's, normally if this was a campaign, I'd make you wait on this, but as you pick it up, it attunes to you.
Okay.
And you recognize, and you know this, but nobody else does, because the feeling inside of you basically is reading this card. It's the Bow of Mind Thievery. When you hit a humanoid with an arrow in this way, you can force that creature to make a DC 15 Wisdom save after the attack. On a failed save, that creature falls under the effects of the Dominate Person spell for up to 1 minute as if cast by you. This effect does not require concentration. In addition, you can use a bonus action to see through that creature's eyes and hear what it hears until the start of your next turn, gaining the benefits of any special senses that it has. During this time, you are deaf and blind with regard to your own sense.
Shoot your friends, get dark vision.
Shoot your friends and see better.
I just have to hold on to them the entire time. Good. I can see things finally.
And as you pick it up, the again, it kind of matches your aesthetic. Like the bow just kind of matches your color scheme. The arrows, though, the arrows in the eyes, I need you to tell me what they look like.
Interesting. The arrows then would the eyes would then have to be more of a steely gray at that point.
Okay.
But not dull with dim-wittedness, but dull with boredom. And then the arrows would be more like small scalpel blades.
Ooh, okay. I like that. Yeah. So, yeah, the bow again. I'll DM that to you.
Mm-hmm.
And Haz is like, that's really creepy. I don't like it. Are you pleased with it, or?
That fits quite well. An option I didn't think I had before. I thought I would have to run up and stab everything, but this works.
Stabbing from a distance, real helpful.
Distance stabbing is fantastic.
Stabbing. All right, well, 2 left.
Let's see. I'm just gonna go around the room investigating every chest there.
Okay, roll Arcana.
26.
26. What are you looking for?
I don't know, anything that might recognize as both either powerful or friendly.
Powerful or friendly? I feel like there were some air quotes there around friendly. What are you talking about? A very innocent DM.
Yeah, who do you think Jacob is? Me?
Yeah.
No, for Breena, for me, it's definitely just kind of like something that won't blow my hands off. If I can see something that is a symbol of someone that's going to be unkind to their users, I'm gonna skip.
You are going to want, I would say, probably number 2 then. So you go to number 2, and you really should have noticed this before, but it seems like you've never seen it. The chest looks like you. Like it's the same size. It looks like a really good wax statue, but it's still clearly a chest, like red and gold with like a keyhole and handles and everything. It just looks like you, and it's got the same kind of disapproving, like really, you gonna pick this one? Look on it.
This is bizarre.
You blink, and without seeing it move, it is now matching your like posture and face and everything, like a mirror. It's
Can
like
we see that?
No, you guys don't see anything.
Fuck,
You
I'm
just-
just gonna start posing a bit.
It poses right back with you. It's a great Marx Brothers bit.
So we're just watching this
Well,
angry gnome
this is
wizard
not
pose.
bad.
In front of an orb of light, essentially.
Phenomenal.
This goes on for way longer than it should.
Alright. Well, let's see. Okay. I'm gonna... How do I open it?
One way to find out.
Oh my
Crack the
god.
neck back.
Oh, god.
It's a nicer joke than I was gonna make.
Define nice.
No.
We're 2 minutes into After Dark.
Alright, I'm just gonna, like,
That's all it
tap
takes.
the shoulder to see what happens.
Tap the shoulder. Okay. As you tap the shoulder, you blink, and it's touching your shoulder in the opposite way in the mirror, in like a mirroring way. And you roll a Constitution save.
Save is 16.
16. Okay. You cannot move. And you feel the like a sense pulling you towards it, like it's a sarcophagus that's gonna fit you inside. And as it does, like you kind of don't know what to expect, and then you kind of like, and then you're just there. Everything's perfectly fine. You gain 6 temporary HP. And with your very high Arcana check, you have 7 things in front of you. I didn't think anybody would actually roll that high because I've not learned in my years of DMing. I just got bored and added another number.
Mistakes.
So, trying to speed through these. So you see 7 things in front of you, and they are an eclectic sort. You see one that looks like a almost like a cape. For most people, it would be like a scarf, but for a gnome shape, it could definitely work as a cape. Could work as a scarf. You could probably tie it around your body and make like almost a very 1992 tie the hoodie around the waist kind of deal. But upon further inspection with it is a large flower petal that just has a hole torn in it. You see what appears to be the steering wheel of a tiny ship, kind of gnome-sized ship steering wheel. It's got a compass design on it. You see it is by medium-sized creatures, it would be considered a longsword, but in a gnome's hands, it would be a claymore. So it would require two hands. It is almost decorated like a street lamp, like an old, I'm thinking the wrong name, Sherlock Holmes era, like street lamp with little fireflies kind of dancing around where the blade is. And there's actually a door number on the handle of a. I thought I had that memorized. Okay, yeah. 228. Next to that, you see it looks like a broken branch, but you kind of look at it from different angles, and it's a large fork, almost a trident, but there's like, you think it's leaves, but there's actually tiny little bonsai trees growing all over it, and the points are just sharpened down wood. You see a robe, a white and yellow. It's a robe with just a hood on it. The hood is white, and it kind of transitions into yellow as it reaches the bottom. Other than that, relatively unassuming. There's a suit of armor with moss growing out of it. It's like plate armor, so it's like, battalion tankish, everything. But it, when the boat rocks, it moves as if it's much lighter than it appears. And then you just see a very gnarled root that's been straightened out and has a mushroom cap growing on the end of it, like a walking stick almost. I did this myself. I'm sorry.
Can I tell the magic?
You absolutely can.
These items?
And with that super high arcana, I don't think you got any of them that are cursed, so I think you're good. Yeah.
Oh no.
What? The
Focus.
So the flower petal has illusion magic, and a no, it's illusion. It's just illusion. The steering wheel has abjuration, and it's got evocation as well on it, and a little bit of something else that doesn't really fit in a school. It's just sort of you could call it transmutation if you had to pick one. The sword, the claymore, the big sword, it has an enchantment magic to it. The trident has little text on it. It's got a little enchantment, it's got a little abjuration, it's got a little divination to it. The robes are abjuration, and they are again, with this, how high you rolled, they've got a little illusion to it for flair, but it's a pretty high abjuration power from it. The walking stick also has little text on it. It's got necromancy on it, but it's got necromancy on it, a lot of necromancy on it. But it's not like menacing. Necromancy in this is taking place in a homebrew world that I've already made that obviously I haven't taken the time to do the background on, but necromancy's doesn't have like a stigma on it. It's like a little frowned upon.
Yeah, all healing spells are necromancy as well.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like, but as far as like raising the dead, it's like, have some class, man. Like, obviously, don't raise the dead guy over here. But, if you find like a dead boar and you want to use it to fight for you, go for it. Kind of a deal. Have some decorum. So it's got, it's got some necromantic energy. Actually, got some pretty strong necromantic magic to it. The plate armor has abjuration and enchantment to it. So you can kind of pick, because you're an enchantment specialist there, you can pick up that, like, it's not as heavy as it looks.
I'm
wish I could study all of these, but
You can also ask anything if you want to like narrow it down, like if you're looking for more specific things to help you out.
Not really. It's actually going to be a bit of a gut decision, which is not.
Oh, that's the best type as the DM.
and just gonna go for the white cloak.
White cloak. Okay, so everything else disappears, and you come back already wearing it. It is the spell-woven robes. These robes are spun from special magic-sensitive threads, causing arcane glyphs to appear on the robe while you wear it whenever you cast a spell. While wearing these robes and no other armor, your AC is equal to 10 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
All right.
So that just went.
Shit.
That just shot up. That takes from 11 to 15.
I'll take it.
In addition,
Gladly. All right.
whenever you cast a spell of first level or higher, actually, the robe is like, in what happens to be a theme of today, giving you like some sort of like sentient encouragement. Like it just wants you to cast a first level or higher spell. And some glyphs like appear around both of your wrists where the robe is. And you can kind of feel like a reservoir of magic to where this will not cost you a spell slot. Strictly narrative. Don't get used to it.
Strictly narrative. Right.
I'm already used to
Turn
it.
around and cast sleep at Rivali.
Okay.
Wherever they are, and wherever
Okay.
anyone else close by
At
is.
what level?
Just do it.
Yeah, third.
Third level sleep. Okay.
I mean,
How
if
many?
I can do it for funsies, let's go.
Oh, we're
Roll
here
you
for funsies.
guys.
We're 12
Yes.
minutes after dark. Like it's. What else is there but funsies?
Okay, wait. How many dice is there? Oh no. Oh no.
I know. I'm sorry. There was so many.
It's like
98.
D8s, but like is it
It's
is it
98.
98s?
It's 98.
We're here. It's 12-12. There are no rules
All right,
except the ones I
hold
said.
on, let me get
It's-
the freaking calculator because there's no way otherwise. All right.
Just call them out.
Yeah, we'll add them.
Okay, well that was 6 plus 6 plus 7.
19,
19.
4 plus 3 plus 8.
15, 34.
And last batch. Oh, 1 plus 1 plus 5.
7, 41.
Barely.
I'm still awake.
God damn it.
Rivali is dozing off, but it has
Well,
nothing
I
to
mean-
do with your spell.
To be fair, it would technically the casting where I'm casting it would be Rivali, but it would be whoever in that
The
range
radius,
is
whoever has the
the
lowest
Oh.
hit points.
Yeah,
lowest
so
goes
Yeah.
down first.
That would be because.
I think that it. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's standing
Yeah.
up.
Did you
Eyes
go to
open.
sleep?
He sleeps with his eyes
That's
open.
what I was gonna say.
Yes. Good.
No change.
Yeah. The eyes on the bow move around a little more quickly. Like they're like.
I don't like it.
But now that you've cast a spell and not spent a spell slot, you can change the style, color, and material of the robe to anything you want.
Yes.
I was about to say it's and dream come true.
What is it now?
No.
You
just
tell
with
me.
my hair.
No, but before it was like white with.
It's like it feels almost like a silk robe, and it's just white, and then it kind of like transitions to a gold as it reaches towards the bottom. But you can change style, color, material. It doesn't have to be a robe. You can turn it to a vest or like a hat or a beanie cap, maybe.
If it fits.
If it fitted, did it fit
Mhm.
me?
Yeah. You can make it. You can make it as loose or as tight as you want.
Honestly,
Shut up.
just add a little
14
bit.
minutes after dark. What did you say? I'm sorry. I wanted to see who would do it first.
Just
Honestly, just a little bit more flair, and I think we're perfect just as is.
and it's just similar. Maybe a little bit more of details on like the gold and maybe actual golden like symbols or like how do I say that? Just
Runes and shit?
decorations. Yeah, nice
Ooh.
decorations. But other than that, yeah.
Rivali, roll either insight or perception.
I rolled a 2, so
Okay.
Your rolls are all or nothing today.
Yep. So 7 insight.
Okay.
I also
But you have the passive of 15.
I have the passive of 15.
You know, I again don't want to play for you, so correct me if I'm wrong. I'm always like interested in what other people get, but I feel like it's like
It's not as cool as my awesome cloth and nice chair.
you're just you're like sitting, you're like, I'm gonna make it a rocking chair.
Fucking want this chair.
I'm gonna make it a rolly chair. You know,
Beanbag.
but yeah, oh, it's a beanbag. You can absolutely do a beanbag if it fits. You sit. So
I'm gonna make it a box and I'm gonna curl up in the box.
Yes.
Done.
Perfect.
all things that only happen in Skull Check After Dark.
Boxes.
Once cats and boxes. Once Breena like updates their robe to what they want, Cthulhu. It really catches your attention as, you know, specializing in what you do, and just sort of the runes going all over the robes. It's sort of like you respect Breena more now on just like sheer combat ability, because you understand what those things are packing. And yeah. So if only we had somebody who was good at like fan art of these kinds of things, who could show us visually what this looked like in the near future.
If only.
If
only.
only.
No obligation, but if
None at all.
only we had someone who did that on their own all the time.
But until then,
We're also gonna give Breena a playful like punch on the shoulder.
If we made any money, I would give you some, but I'm losing it.
Does the punch hurt?
no,
I was like-
you expect it to.
I mean, it's a
Yeah,
playful
like-
punch, so
It's a play. Well, I mean, their AC was 11,
I am a gnome, and my AC was 11. And
so it hits you. But actually, it doesn't hit your body. Like the robe moves as if it were your skin. And like by sheer appearance, it shouldn't have taken that much of a punch, but it just kind of perfectly fine.
oh, this is great.
And
I'm
then
gonna be twirling and admiring.
I feel like you and Rivali have very similar like reactions here, and I don't know if Casaadi's even awake anymore. So it's like,
Like, is he moving? I don't know if his Discord has frozen.
I was like,
Oh, yeah. He was sleeping with his eyes open.
absolutely checks.
How long can Sean not
I was
blink?
waiting to. Waiting for
Just
the blink.
only blink whenever your Discord flashes green and like you're safe.
I just have to plan it that way.
Yeah, obviously, like you know the timing because you do this, so it makes sense.
All right, well that leaves us one more.
What are the numbers?
You have 1 through 15, with the exception of 2, 11,
And 14.
14, and there were 4 of them picked
15.
because
Oh yeah.
15, yeah. So 2, 11, 14, and 15.
15.
Yeah.
7.
7 is Lorcan.
Because the other 2 numbers I was gonna pick were already taken.
It's all my fault.
I did
you-
not pick.
Which 2 did you pick, Kurt?
14 and 11.
It's half your fault.
It's half my fault. Okay.
So you walk up to number 7, and it's sort of, I mean, it's just a normal chest, and you kind of, how do you interact with it, like whether you're going to open it or do something else?
What does it look like?
normal red chest with gold trim.
I knock on it.
Knock on it. As you do, your hand goes through it and comes back with nothing.
Fuck!
It's not that type of mimic.
Not with that attitude.
How big is it?
About the size of a MacBook Pro. Like,
Okay. I have
Like
one
size-
sitting in front of me for
yeah.
reference.
Okay, yeah, there you go. That's about how it is, like, height, weight, and depth. But, it's
I
obviously a
stick my
box.
head in it.
Stick your head in it. Okay. Make a wisdom save.
Hey, I think I get advantage on this.
You do. However,
I don't know if that's good or bad. Well, that was a 2, so let's fix it. That was a 1. I didn't fix it. I have a -1. With advantage, I got a 1 total.
Rollin' hot.
I'm
are now
rolling
a-
like Kurt today.
you are now. You come out of the chest. You're now a Sora. Nobody understands.
How did I get here?
How are you? So you.
Oh no.
I know what I have written down. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to have to. So you get 4 choices in front of you.
I know what I must do, but I don't know if I have the strength.
And they're
to
all
do it.
cursed because I rolled a 2 - 1 with advantage. I'm gonna die.
And you are in a completely black space. There is no one behind you. There is no one around you. You do not feel anything underneath your feet. You do not feel like you're falling. You are in the void, essentially.
Can I touch the ground with my hand?
There is no ground to touch.
I'm just chilling.
It's just pitch black everywhere.
Cool.
Think like Willy Wonka in the TV, except black instead of white.
I hate it. Thank you. I was not intending this.
The minute you open your mouth to speak, there are 4 bright lights that pop in front of you.
Fuck!
And they're silhouettes. You can't tell what they are. So one is the size. Again, just you're not a moron. You can tell what silhouettes are. One looks like a cloak of some sort or a cape. One looks like an amulet. One looks like a walking stick, and one looks like a gauntlet. At the same, for each one that you look at, almost as if you had an HUD. Like as you look at it, it lights up a little bit, but then all of your personal possessions light up as well. And you feel like whatever you take, something else will be exchanged.
Fuck. So when I look at a thing, everything I have lights up, or just a specific thing I have lights up?
Everything you have lights up. And when you look at your own things, like the stronger things light up more than others, and none of the items in front of you do light up at all. I wrote this after waking up from a dream at like 2 a.m., so sorry.
Oh boy. Great. Huh. Okay. There's a cloak/cape, there's an amulet, there's a walking stick, and a gauntlet, and there's nothing special about any of them because fucking shadows, because I can't see.
Yarp.
Don't fuck shadows. They lower your strength.
Don't put your head in a box.
Well, don't put an invisibox in front of me.
What? Invisible. Intangible.
Guessing I can't use one of my psionic die to, like, not fail that?
Yeah. Late.
I want to keep my things!
So essentially what you're picking up here is that obviously you can take an item you want and you feel like you don't really get a choice of what's going to be given up.
Yeah.
Or you can choose what's going to be given up and you're not sure what will happen with that.
Do I get vibes off any of the items, or is it just like, I'm fucked here?
Well, with 99% of and characters, you would get some vibes, but with Lorcan,
Yep.
not a lot of
Eli
vibe
should be
checks.
better at this shit than I would.
Rhys would be better at this shit.
Yikes. Asor is just like screaming in the back of my brain.
No, she's screaming outside the box.
It's true.
Both. Somehow.
You don't feel like you're in any danger, so to speak.
I don't know about that.
Roll a die. Do it. I dare you.
I rolled a 3 and my insight is -1.
No, I meant to pick the item.
Yeah, you
That
can pick one or give one up.
The dice will decide.
Do I get the feeling that if I give it a stronger thing, it will give me a stronger thing in return, even though I don't get to pick what thing?
Yeah, you can kind of logic that out. You guys all saw Lorcan disappear, and it's been about 3 minutes of just sort of looking at each other, and you hear Casaadi, the dice will decide. It's sort of like...
Gonna hide in my invisibox.
Fuck. Oh, I hate it because the thing is so good. Can I offer it money?
One way to find out.
Does my money glow when I look at it?
Everything on you that you own is glowing except for your physical body. You could tear off like a button from your outfit if you wanted to.
You have 2 kidneys. You don't need both.
You say that. I might need to roll insight for this or something, but can I give it multiple things to get one thing in return?
You can give it multiple things. You don't know what you'll get in return. You don't know if you'll get an item. You don't know if you don't know if it'll send you back and give you another box.
I offer 500 gold and a mystery key, which is a wondrous item.
As soon as you offer the money,
I put them together.
Okay. It raises and just kind of tremors a little bit. Breathe.
I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I just whispered greed menacingly. It's and the money disappears and reappears back into your wherever you had it.
Where does the key go?
The key stays there and floats, kind of spins a little bit, and you kind of hear the same voice just be like, possibility. Charity. The key vanishes.
For me or you?
And then you see, oh shoot, threw that from the wrong side. You just get a little more light to your vision. There's no longer silhouettes. And you get 2 more things pop up. So in front of you, you see the cape is sort of like a cloak. It's see-through, almost mesh. It's got a gold trim at the bottom. The amulet is solid gold, except in the middle it is green, and it has basically a wax model of a sleeping kitten coming out of it. And it looks...
Say that one more time from the beginning, I'm sorry.
First one is a mesh cape with gold trim.
Okay.
Second one is a gold pendant with a jade cat in it.
Okay.
The third one is a unassuming stick with a handle on it. The gauntlet is just golden with like silver, I guess, like fasteners on the knuckles.
You said golden with silver fasteners?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And it does do a shimmering green yellow to it.
Okay.
There is a crossbow with that looks antique, and the crossbow bolts are very thin. There's also looks like Roman gladiator armor, like Russell Crowe gladiator metal tunic kind of type. And it has the insignia of a spider on the belt that's like this big.
Gross.
Okay.
Thanks, I hate it.
Shout out to our friends at Hit Point Press and Deck of Mini for making all of these cool magic items.
Please sponsor us.
They don't know we're friends, but we are friends.
Also, please sponsor us.
Please sponsor us.
Can I tell if I offered more, will it give me more things now? Or is this just like where we at?
You do still have things lighting up, but they have a lot of weight to them. Like, you feel like that would be your last one, and you don't know what the changes would be.
Okay.
Roll the dice. Leave it up to fate.
Oh god.
Yep.
I'm gonna offer up my hand crossbow. +1.
All of the items disappear, including your hand crossbow, and I need you to roll a d20 for me.
Natural 20.
What weapons do you have on your person?
Besides the hand crossbow that disappeared,
Mm-hmm.
2 daggers and a short bow and a rapier.
Rapier. Okay. The daggers in the short bow also disappear. Alright, so in front of you comes a set of black leather boots that are spiked on the soles of them with metal fasteners, and the bottom fastener has a design of a skeleton walking around it. There is a wooden mask with antlers coming out of it that is constantly changing form. There's a very pretty pair of teal boots. And what is the other one? Sorry, everyone. I know it's late. I'm hurrying. Oh, yeah, here we go. All right. There is a very normal-looking piece of squash and a necklace that looks like a really long set of deer antlers is what the rope is, and but the horn the spikes on it sort of look more like thorns than antlers, and it has a menacing cat eye on it in a diamond.
Okay. So all I have is the sword left.
Yeah.
And you said a piece of squash?
A normal looking piece of squash.
Like the vegetable.
Like the vegetable.
Let's do the piece of squash.
You pick up the piece of squash and you've got to be kidding. Okay. Never mind. It normally swaps your wisdom and your strength scores, but yours are the same. So sorry, gotta go with the next one. My bad. That
So
would have been
not
really funny if it was like,
not squash.
Rivali or Breena or something.
It wouldn't have been a huge change.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you would gotten a lot more street smart.
So I have to pick something else?
Yep. You've got the spiky metal boots. You've got the pretty blue ones. You've got the mask that is always changing form and you can't seem to focus on it. And you've got the menacing looking pendant.
Okay. We'll go for the mask.
All right. The mask of the pack bearer. This mask looks like a normal wooden mask before it's attuned to. When you're attuned to this mask, your whatever source your magic comes from shapes the appearance of the mask. Now, you don't have magic.
Not much.
Not much. So what's going to happen is, all right, I think this will probably be the last roll of the night. Appreciate you guys for sticking with us. But Lorcan, I need you to make, and I'm so sorry, but it needs to be a wisdom save.
I have advantage. There's that. That's a 1, and that's a fucking 3. So 2.
Okay, so... Okay.
Oh boy.
It shifts into the menacing-looking pendant. And the circlet of the huntsman's third eye. So the thorns actually dig into your skin, and
What?
the huntsman's third eye.
Okay.
And while it looks like a necklace, it's actually a circlet. So it digs into your collarbone and slides its way up your face into your head. But then as you look down, there's no scars. And you don't feel the pain anymore. The eye is now resting right in the middle of your forehead. And while wearing the circlet, its Latin cunning guide your hand. You now have an advantage on all survival checks. It has 5 charges, and which regain daily at dusk. You can use a bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark from it. You have advantage on concentration, and if you do if you cast 2 charges instead of 1, you can cast Hunter's Mark with True Sight on a range of 120 feet.
Wow.
Go
Interesting.
sniping.
But you feel as if something else was included. And that's where we'll end it up.
Fuck.
Thank you guys for playing. We'll wrap this up.
For DMing.
Yeah, sorry it ran a little late.
Fine.
Sorry I took forever and then made Jacob re-roll my item 5 million times.
Part of me was hoping you would go first because I knew that would torture you of like decisions and like things that go with them. But yeah, thanks for
Especially
coming
when I
out.
roll that bad.
I know. Well, and it's all wisdom based. I was like, crap.
I have advantage and I keep rolling a 3 or lower.
Anyways, thank you all for joining us tonight.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll
sorry.
see you same
Thanks,
time
Sorry we didn't get a
next
combat.
week.
Yeah.
See you same time next week. Goodbye.
Right.
Thanks for hanging out.
Indeed.
Goodbye and good night.
Good night.